I invite you to the party of my mind. An invitation to the party of my mind. Some talk, some laugh, some go out for air. In the party of my mind, they'll all be there. All my friends will be there. In the party of my mind, there's a room for us. In the party of my mind, a place to be found.
All right, there we go. Welcome to Axe to Grind episode
10.
10. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Well, impressive. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Patrick.
My name's Bob.
I'm Tom.
And the format of Axe to Grind, for those of you that are new here, is we talk about hardcore music. That's it. It's like some people think it sounds like sports radio. Other people think it just sounds like
Group chat.
group chat, like three yentas playing mahjong. You know, I mean, whatever it is, we're sitting around a small table, drinking yerba mate and talking hardcore music. So the only caveat is that when we are very clearly motivated by something other than artistic merit. We just announced I got an axe to grind with whatever this is, and that's how we stay honest. Because listen, we've been around a minute. It's easy to pick up a beef. It's easy to pick up a feeling, and sometimes we're in our feelings, and we just lead with, "Hey, I'm in my motherfucking feelings. I got an axe to grind."
And just the cheat code for life. If you can acknowledge you're in your feelings, you're halfway there.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. Lead with that.
Bob's the cheat code king.
He is. So today,
Bobby Contra over here.
Just
That's your
the
new punk
one
down,
player mode only over here.
So today what we're going to do is a series of quick hits, which it could be larger topics, but we're just going to barrel through them because we kind of been on, tell me if I'm wrong, we've been on some old guy shit lately.
Been on the old guy shit, and we love you, old guys. Anyone in here, let's qualify old guys. Old guys are 30 to 45 plus, because I know we got a couple 45-year-olds who are feeling like they're underrepresented. So we got love for you guys, but
Today's not necessarily for you.
today is for you.
Oh,
No,
you
it
think?
definitely is.
Oh,
It's definitely for
really?
you because
Oh,
we
wow.
need you to be young and hip and feel alive. None of this sitting in 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Fuck yeah, let's do old guy night. Hardcore night? Yo, guys.
See, you were more of a hater than Tom and I when it came up. I like the idea in principle, but I'm going to talk about a dude. We're gonna call him Lyman.
Lyman.
Okay?
Yeah.
Not his real name, but Lyman is a guy that I grew up going to shows with and was at every show.
Lyman.
And he has
Steady Soda Warped Tour.
no, he has never gotten out of the 6 bands that we saw when we were kids. And
Don't you all know a Lyman? I think I know a
everybody
Lyman.
in life knows a Lyman. A guy who he's still listening.
Are you
to
a Lyman?
CDs. No, please.
No,
come
no,
on.
I'm saying.
Are
Audience.
you? Yeah,
The
to
Roy-
our
yeah.
audience.
Don't be a Lyman.
Don't be a Lyman.
I think we make that a thing.
That's our shirt.
That's
Don't
our
be a
first
Lyman.
shirt.
So
It's like, don't be a Melvin.
here's the deal, everybody. Let's barrel through. Quick hits. Hit us, Bob. What do
All
you
right,
got?
quick hits. Foundation versus Have Heart. A conversation that's come up in the group chat heavy.
Okay, so now after I just said we're not going to be old, now we're being old. This is
That's
some
right.
This is some old shit. Let's get it out of the way.
Let's go.
Here's my deal. Both bands were impressive live acts of their time. Both bands have serious legacies. In my opinion, Foundation Records are pure ass, and their Spotify listens tell me that you are all still listening, but I don't know how or why.
So that is what we would consider heavy hot take here.
I
That
don't
is a
think
hot
that's hot.
take.
I think everybody knows their records suck.
I don't agree.
Okay.
I legit do not agree. I think the LP and that last EP. Don't make me quote Loudon on this thing.
The last EP,
Let's call-
the last
oh, yeah.
EP
We
is
can't quote
last-
Loudon on this.
Last
He got
EP
too
is
aggro.
their best work by far.
Now, if you tell me you can't listen to When the Smoke Clears and be like,
It's a pile of shit.
I don't think so at all. I think it
Dude.
sounds good.
I think
Foundation
it's.
hot takes.
I think it is dull sounding, and you saw them live. How many times?
Probably 20.
Right. I saw them live Yeah, actually,
Probably
I was on a
20.
I was
Yeah,
on
we
a tour
toured with
Yeah,
them,
okay.
yeah.
So I was on tour with them. I saw them live 20 times. They were a fucking great live band of the era.
Yes.
Absolutely. But you could say that about most hardcore. How many hardcore records do you go back and listen to and be like,
I want-
this is better. This represents them live. Almost none of them.
I want you to be 1/5 of what you were live on record. You know what I mean? Just give me 1/5.
1/5. Is that like a low key like?
Yo, do you
Isn't there a band
think?
called 1/5?
Oh wow.
I don't know if that was like his weird.
Do you think that their records are as good, or at least live up to the live show?
I don't fucking know.
I know you think that. I'm
No,
asking
I know.
Tom.
I know.
Well, I mean, it's hard to say
I just
because
want to see if he's gonna lie.
well, their live shows were that impressive that it would be hard to kind of come up with a record that matches that. But I think you could say the same thing about Have Heart. Have Heart
Oh,
live
shit.
is a force. The records are good, but it doesn't represent what they're like live, like that feeling of people freaking out and sort of. It's a completely different.
No, for
ball
sure.
act.
but
Would
I'm-
you say they elicited the same kind of visceral response as the other? You know, did Have Heart? Because I really do think Pat and I were on the last Have Heart tour when in his old band, and Foundation was on it too. And I feel as though there was an actual, almost tangible passing of the torch from Have Heart to Foundation, and I think it plays out when you talk to younger dudes.
I think Have Heart brought them on that tour for that reason.
Yes.
Like I think that was
You
intentional.
think they had that much forethought to see?
Yes.
Oh,
really?
honestly,
That's
100%.
impressive. That's-
So I've said this, I'm sure, maybe on this podcast. I've never met a band more psyched to break up than Have Heart. When that last tour, they were legitimately, they liked playing music. Most of them continue to play music.
Right.
Yes.
But they felt so confined by the expectation put on Have Heart.
Yes.
Really like a straitjacket. Like they felt like this was like had become unfun, not because they were challenging themselves more and more musically, but what people thought of when they thought of Have Heart became really narrow. And those dudes are smart guys that wanted to go out on top, and they said, listen, it's getting to be a straitjacket. Let's pop it off while we're at our peak.
There was a
And-
point when Have Heart was peaking that they had to have a dude with them who was basically like stage manager, aka, yo, I need to be there so that there aren't dudes jumping on all their gear at all times. And that's a weird vibe for that band and those dudes as individuals. And I know they had to feel a way about that.
Right, that it got to such a point that they needed
needed
stage
that.
protection
on
almost.
their on their last tour, there was a date where the venue exhausted all their microphones because
That's right.
during the set,
Kids are breaking mics.
kids
and
broke
cords and
three mics. I had to go to the van and get. Not that I don't know why I had a
Yeah, that's
personal
weird.
mic.
Yeah,
but
geez, what an asshole.
I don't know why I had a personal, but I had a personal mic, and we had to use that one because it was just chaos. And it was. But here's the thing: everybody at home, if you're 19 and you want your band to pop, you think, why the fuck wouldn't they love that chaos? I mean, they did.
They did.
but they also didn't. You know what I mean? Like
It gets to be much, I would imagine.
I think it just
mean-
got to be much in a weird way where it's like you want the chaos, you want it to be crazy, but then there's actual things where it's inhuman. It's the thing in hardcore, the dude playing guitar is so psyched for you to be stage diving. He's psyched for you to be going crazy. He's vibing off that energy. But then when you start jumping on his pedals or
Oh.
kicking his
Right, like he
amp,
paid for
like,
that
oh
guitar.
Not
shit.
fun anymore.
Right,
Not
Yeah,
fun.
she paid
that
for that
that
bass, so that drum-
smile
yeah.
flips so quick. So, anyways, Foundation versus Have Heart. We're gonna throw a poll out on it. We're gonna talk about it a lot more because it's interesting,
That
and
could
I
be
think
a
it's
full
kind of
episode.
irrelevant. Yeah, we're
Here's what
probably
I
gonna do
think.
it.
That's Patreon content. Here's what I think. Here's what I
coming.
think. Here's what I think. I think Foundation will win that poll, and I think that is a complete rewriting of history because I don't disacknowledge that Foundation was totally important,
Really big.
particularly from Kids for the South. It literally meant the world to Kids from the
I mean,
South.
they created the 2000s.
Yes,
I mean, I wanna
anything
give them-
below Richmond.
I
is
want to give them credit more so than even the 2000s. I think they're the most important hardcore band to come from
the South,
south
south
of.
of Mason Dixon.
yeah,
from south
I'll
of
say
DC.
I'll say that for sure.
And I don't want to diss. That's no diss to Down to Nothing. That's a fucking important band too. And that's no diss to Avail, but they're in a different space. That's no diss to Four Walls because I love that band. That's no diss to the
No, but
North
nobody-
Carolina shit.
But they
Yo,
created its own. They created
Foundation was a thing, and I think they've built a structure that's still standing.
I listen.
100%.
Agree with you, but No, ain't nobody convincing me that they're listening to those records for fun. End of story. Move on to the next.
We're
thing.
going to the next because that's going to be more. Quick hits. All right, Little Xan.
We need a soundboard for that. Big
Quick
hits.
hits.
Quick hits.
Lil Xan says Tupac is boring. Okay, who fucking cares?
Okay, so the reason that you're bringing this up isn't because this is a rap podcast, but because it applies.
It could be if you
We're
follow
working
Patrick
on
the
it.
internet.
Yeah, that's true. That's all I talk about. And so, but this applies broadly to hardcore in that there is generational divides and odd expectations on each generation, right?
Absolutely.
So, Little Xan is probably what, 20?
Yes.
So, why would Little Xan give a motherfuck about a dude who died when he was in
He wasn't even born,
Is that right? Was it that long ago?
right? I mean,
20 years ago was 1998. Tupac was
dead.
gone missing for a while by that point.
Okay, so
Yeah, he's.
why would
Well,
anyone?
yes, Dave Chappelle, maybe not, but yeah.
Why would anyone
Stop hitting
Like-
the table.
like? Okay, here's a question.
It's the equivalent of like, why would a 20-year-old kid give a shit about Gorilla Biscuits or sick of it
Right,
all?
but
Or
we
fucking,
expect them to.
Well, no, you know what?
I expect them to.
I
I
want-
expect you to do your homework.
I
do.
want
So
you
I-
to.
I get it. I get why hip hop people are fucking agitated. But at the same time, do I give a motherfuck about the New York Dolls? No.
Right,
No.
but are you mad at the dude who expects you to care about the New York Dolls or know about it?
I would just say LOL.
Right,
You know what
and
I
that's
mean?
what this
That's what
thing
he's
is.
doing.
And this is why I'm not mad at the dude who's 20 who doesn't know what Gorilla Biscuits is. I might go, oh shit, like you might want to check it out. But this is an approach thing. If people are mad that he doesn't know Tupac, okay, maybe he's checked it out and it's just not for him. Maybe there's some other shit. Maybe he would rather fuck with Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? So like whatever people want to put out there, don't be mad at a 20-year-old for not caring about the shit you cared about when you were 20 years old.
But I think that the difference with hardcore is like, you know, if you like Turnstile, you can hear Gorilla Biscuits and see the lineage.
Okay, that's
Sure.
a good point.
But I
That's a good
think
point.
if you're
Yes.
listening to whatever a Little Xan or someone in that age range, you do not hear Tupac or fucking Biggie or anything.
I
It's
don't know.
completely-
I don't know.
To them, T-Pain is a fucking legend and not what we.
But you can probably connect. It might be strained, but I would say you see that in hardcore too, that there is some strain and there is some difference. And I'm a huge believer in the idea of the lineage. And I think we're this is another episode, anyways. So just because somebody who's younger than you doesn't like the shit you like or doesn't think it's canonical, don't be fucking furious about it. You can feel a way, but think about how you're communicating that.
You
want to
hear my possibly not hot take?
Let's
Hot
go.
take.
Sure.
I think you can actually trace the hardcore split in the family tree to the Faith Void split. I think
Who
that
picks what side?
I think that depending on what side you like better determines your entire future in hardcore music.
Yes.
We'll do a
one-
poll on that too.
Yeah. Want a hot.
Everybody lies and
Want a
says
hot
Void.
talk?
Everybody.
Want a
I
hot
was
take?
actually going to say that. I was going to say probably
Hot
Void.
take. Hardcore lineage died at deathcore.
Woo.
Mic drop.
Oh,
All right,
old
next.
Old guy has entered
I
the
know,
building.
but yo, here's the thing.
Hey,
it's
Grandpa.
tough. Well, this is from conversation. I'm not mad. I'm just saying that up until about that time, you could still really get mad at kids like you don't like Age of Quarrel. I'm not mad at a kid who doesn't like Age of Quarrel, Patrick notwithstanding. But I'm not mad
I'm
at
mad
a
at
kid
him for that.
who's not into 80s hardcore. There's a lot of people self-identifying as hardcore in hardcore bands who are like, yeah, I don't fuck with shit from the 80s.
We know somebody that runs a successful hardcore label that honestly doesn't listen to anything before Integrity. Not a single fucking thing.
Right, and I'm not
Right.
denying that person's fucking hardcoreiness.
It was
you
true,
know,
true.
Like, and there's people younger than that
Non-question
who really
is
don't.
hardcore.
Yeah.
Right, but
You know,
but,
you know who you are.
But we think, but to me, I think there was this weird divide because honestly, especially if you're on the more heavier leaning side of things, I could see why you might hear some dude like me or Tom say, dude, Age of Quarrel, hard record, and be like, yo, man, when I was 13, I was listening to The Ghost Inside.
Oh,
Or
not that
fucking
shit. I'm
Acacia
talking-
Strain. What do you? What?
That's
This
what
isn't
I mean,
hard.
I mean, think about like
I
when we
know.
talk about Unbroken or we talk about Integrity even.
Mm-hmm.
If you put that, or Earth Crisis for Christ's
Yep.
sake, if you put that up to some kid who listens to fucking Harm's Way and Jesus Piece
It
in
doesn't
2018,
sound extreme.
You're going to be like, this sounds like fucking
It's
Youth of Today. It's
tame.
no
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah,
It's tame.
correct.
So
So-
that's the hot take. We're gonna get into that again. Quick hit.
Big hits.
Fiddlehead dropped the new song "Lay Low" yesterday. Got an LP coming out on Run for Cover and also Locking Out. You guys hear it?
I heard half of it. Got interrupted while I was watching the music video, which is another topic. Do people watch music videos? I don't even fucking know. People put a lot of effort into them, and I have no idea if any.
Alex from the band put that music
Yep.
together, video together. It's awesome.
But have no idea if people are actually watching music videos.
Okay, interesting.
Did you hear it yet?
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
It was cool.
So,
I mean, we were on, ahead of the curve because we, Bob had already talked about it.
yeah, I'd heard from an insider that there was some, not adult influences, but like older guy influences. But
Like someone said seaweed, which I can hear.
okay, see,
Okay.
as
I'm
a
not mad at that.
Drug Church started as essentially a Seaweed cover band,
Yes.
so
Okay.
I feel like I'm hypersensitive to that. This single reminded me of what I think. I don't know if Run for Cover, and I don't know if Fiddlehead wants me to think of this, but I think it is inevitable. It had some real title fight in it.
Yes.
And-
I heard a lot of that.
Is that good or bad that's where my brain goes?
No, I think it's good, and I just think that it shows what an important band title fight is, both in the moment and on a longer level, and the well of influences that they pulled from. That for a band who quite often gets lumped to like quote unquote pop punk,
right.
those dudes were pulling from hardcore fucking wells a lot, and I think Fiddlehead was going to a lot of the same wells. And just to close this quick hit out, we've been talking about Fiddlehead, so just pay attention.
So are they going to be like a full-time thing, or what's their story?
Part time, but you know.
Yeah, I don't,
Like how part?
How can
like
it be?
free
Dude,
part-time, or even?
I mean,
like
one
less?
dude is in Basement, who's a full time thing, and
Sure.
the other dude is, what are you, a
Like a
fucking
doctor
professor or
some shit?
something?
Like something
Like
ridiculous.
doctor of teaching. So
you know what? Here's the thing. Tom's talked about this. You say that your band is going to be a project until the numbers come in, until your first lit show,
until that
Yeah.
Fiddlehead self defense tour, where all of a sudden that money's rolling in, and you just, oh my god.
Listen,
But I mean, Basement is a big fucking deal. So
Basement's
like,
a big
there's
deal.
a lot of work to be like, I'm gonna like split
you
my
know what,
time
though?
between Basement and
Hold
Fiddlehead.
on, I'm not. This is not me jinxing anybody, because the Basement dudes. I went on a tour with them years ago. I think those dudes are fucking legitimately fucking solid
yeah,
guys.
yeah, class.
But they haven't released a record on this new label. What is it? Fueled
Fueled
by
by
Ramen?
Ramen. It's coming.
They haven't released a record. The proof is in the pudding. When that record comes out and we see, because I'm currently on a bigger labels aren't helping people the way that traditionally they're supposed to.
Another episode.
Yes, but we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find
And,
out.
You know, sometimes your priorities shift if one thing is hot and the other thing is at the moment not hot.
Fiddlehead hot. All right, Chris Callahan. We got a question. This one just didn't make the cutoff last week. I thought it was interesting. Sect. What do we think of Sect? Which, can somebody give the breakdown of who makes up Sect?
think
And
it
they're a band
changes
who
a
did
lot.
their own. They did their own 12-inch, and then they just released another full length on Southern Lord. Actually,
Yeah.
so
I mean, it's an all-star band. It's like Chris, obviously. It's
Is Bulldog in it, or did I make that up?
I think he might have been in it at some point. Scott Krause from Earth Crisis is in it.
Scott Krause.
I believe somebody from Undying is
Yep.
in it. Is the other guitar player on bass? I can't remember who played bass.
but it's like an all-star lineup.
And the drummer is the guy from Fall Out Boy.
there you go.
So it's weird.
So here's the thing. I, as a guy who has been playing music for a long minute, would like to put together a band of
That caliber.
that caliber,
Sure.
of people who I all respect what they've done in I mean, Andy, is it Andy Hurley? Andy
Yeah.
Hurley notwithstanding.
Pause. Patrick wants to do Earth Crisis, but with him in Carl's place. Continue.
I mean, really, what I really want to do,
Path of Resistance.
I'd love to
Yeah.
do Path of Resistance. I would.
Can we do that with me, you, and Jeremy, maybe?
We definitely. We just need a musician.
Yeah, I don't have any
the three of
talent.
us are
Crickets.
barking idiots.
Yeah,
Crickets.
sure.
But so.
Do you say crickets?
Finding a musician.
and
Oh, I was
Yeah.
like, I
No,
just
you're
thought there were,
talented.
I mean,
Well, here's the thing.
I'll put on a
Question.
fake voice.
Question, actually.
Sure.
Okay, you and I are doing our hypothetical Path of Resistance band,
yeah.
right?
Is Jeremy straight edge?
He is.
Fuck yes.
He's
All right,
perfect.
you guys are
He's
in.
You're in, Jeremy
But
Bohm.
here's the thing. Why not, in an era of digital streaming music where we don't even have to make money back for a label? We could all just pitch in $300, record a cool fucking record, and then Fucking, it's
Just
digital.
throw it up there.
And if you like it, you like it. This is a larger topic. I don't understand why more of you aren't having fun with music.
Yeah,
Like,
you got the means
Especially if you
at
have
your
access
hand.
to a
Yep.
studio.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I understand being methodical, being strategic if your goal is to win. But a lot of you are not trying to win. You're just trying to have a great time while you are fucking 19 to 25. And if that's what you're doing,
Or
have-
35 to 55.
have some fucking fun. Well, I mean, that's the other thing, right? Like, even if it's like maybe the old man bands are best suited being digital things that are for, like, I don't see.
I would like to see it digital, and then if it catches and people actually give a shit and are like hitting you up, like, hey, we want to book you. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
then you give
I'll
it a
do it.
whirl.
I'll
See
do
how
it.
it works.
Right.
But I think old man bands probably sell actual records more
They
than
do.
They
It's
do.
it's
They
a
do.
really
More than
interesting
streams,
thing. We're going to
because-
talk.
yeah.
That's a whole
Is
episode.
this a Fireburn conversation? Is that what's up?
No, Fireburn sold a lot of records.
Fireburn sold hella records, but I think in part
'Cause they're
because
old.
the average age is 40 over 45.
people
right?
being like, Rise is one of my favorite Bad Brains records.
Well, I also think that the Fireburn caught. They got every old dude to buy the record, but
A lot of young
quality.
cats liked it
Yeah,
too.
young dudes,
Absolutely.
young dudes who I didn't expect to catch it as well really caught it. But
Well,
but when we talk about old man bands, that's not limited to Fireburn selling records. Old man bands who you might not expect are selling records because there is now a hardcore demographic that starts at 30 and goes up, who
With
is the
disposable
most
income.
buying audience of the
I
record.
just saw Caliban is putting out another fucking record. That's got to be their 35th.
But and them in Europe is like, like they're like a headlining like of a
They're like
fest kind of band.
they're
They're
a thing,
big,
yeah.
like a real big deal.
But they're old men at this point.
They
and
gotta be.
So
Okay.
I don't know. That's Europe though. Whatever. Keep the hits coming.
Sorry, Europe, we love you.
Last quick hit.
Quick hit.
R.I.P. A389 Records. So this is
Okay.
going to be a couple weeks ago when this hits, but they just Dom announced that he's done with the label. Sad. A389 definitely put out a lot of records that were pretty, at least interesting. Definitely some people would consider a lot of this stuff important. I'm going to run it down before I throw it to you guys to talk on it. Some of the stuff he put out a grip of records for Full of Hell, Pulling Teeth, obviously. He actually put out the first Nothing LP. He did reissues on Gehenna, which I think he basically talked that band into more relevant conversation. A lot of vinyl stuff for Ringworm and Integrity. He launched Noisem. And he also put out the first Iron Reagan LP. And that's just like tip of the iceberg
Like a real
stuff.
cursory look at it.
So, Dom's sensibilities were never my own. He leans towards a scum metal sort of aesthetic. Is
Like
that fair?
I think that's fair.
Dirty.
Yeah.
Scummy metal.
He's dirty.
Yeah.
Dom's not.
No, Dom is
No.
not. No.
I
his-
stayed at his home in Mississauga, Ontario in
Very nice.
1997. Very clean.
oh, yeah,
Also-
Secret Canadian.
Secret Canadian.
And
also,
relevant
a
to a
label?
lot of that stuff.
Also,
Yeah, you're right.
also,
Secretly Canadian.
ongoing supportive for a lot of stuff that you don't think that he is supportive
Yes.
of because that's not what he puts out.
Yep.
But he's plugged in still.
Absolutely.
And I don't know why he closed the label. I know why he said, but I don't know why he did. Just for people at home, those are never the same fucking thing. You
No,
know what I mean? Like
rarely.
ever. And so I don't know what the real reason was, except maybe, listen, this game is getting really tiring. Like, I don't think people at home really understand. There was a grip of labels that were solvent to well off during the vinyl boom. And the vinyl boom is now over,
Yes.
and it is increasingly hard to pivot to a purely digital model where vinyl is a complete afterthought for people under a certain age.
And what's being unspoken right now is the fall of purchasing digital music.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
And that's just it's been spelled out for me in much more specific ways by a lot of people. And this isn't just in hardcore, it's a lot of places. Everybody's on that stream and realizing, oh shit, you mean I could buy this record for $10 or I could just subscribe to this thing for $10 a month and get every song ever whenever I want it. Cool.
well, okay. So,
And that doesn't help, that hurts some of the smaller labels.
well, for a reason. Because now Dom has a really deep catalog that you would assume is getting streamed in volume if we just aggregate it all. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a ton of people listening to all of the stuff put
Has to
together.
be. Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that a lot of those streams might be far less than we think because hardcore and scum metal, whatever the fuck Dom is into, is it has a lot of shit that exists in the moment and then is passé. You know what I mean? And then is no longer needed by the average listener. So
So the 7-inch that you put out and sold 500 copies, 1,000 copies of in 2009, that's cool. And it might have been really easy to sell that 1,000. But if that band doesn't continue on, do things, et cetera, there's really not that many people seeking that out, listen to it, streaming it in 2018.
well, okay, so there's two things here. There's a pure numbers game. The pure numbers game is if you are Ja Rule and you put out a massive banger 15 years ago, the amount of people that are listening to it today is 1/20th.
But it's still enough of a trickle down.
It's still
Yes,
a
sure.
huge starting
Correct.
number.
Correct.
How many people are going back to listen to, I don't know, Killing the Dream from Death Wish? Like, how many people are going back and listening to that in 2018?
And that's a band who you can kind of like, they were big.
They were big.
They were big.
They were one of the non-touring big acts. They
Yes.
did very little touring. They
Yeah,
go
did
to
they ever
Japan.
even come to?
They did, but on small things. They did on small things. And like they played that last Ruiner show, and they were actually a big draw on that.
Got
It
it.
had 1,200 people there. But they never did
like New York or anything?
I think they did. I think
Did
they
they?
did, but just they
Very
didn't
limited
catch in the
amounts.
north.
And-
Like many things, didn't catch in the Northeast the way it did everywhere else. And that band in California was like, "Hey, fuck it, we can just headline and play to 350 kids whenever we want,
Right.
easy."
Right. But who's revisiting that? Now, there's definitely fans that are going back and listening to that. But like, let's say that at its peak, I don't know, it sold 7,000 copies. You know what I mean?
Right. We're playing
Ra-
make believe numbers.
Random
yeah.
number. However many years later,
That might be 500 people.
that might be
listen to it.
500
Yeah.
people.
That's right.
You know what I
Because
mean?
it trickled down.
Right.
So, anyways, there's a big thing there for labels. It's not easy. We're gonna do a whole episode about small labels. 8389. Anything on it, Tom?
No, I think we covered it. Dom Romeo, I love you.
Yeah. There
Yeah,
you go.
You're a great
respect to Dom, who really did a lot for a lot
Oh.
of people over those years.
And a big thing that we will talk about is what labels can do for bands that a manager can't, a booking agent can't, and to be honest, you kind of can't do yourself, given your bandwidth. Now, the best can, but many don't. So we'll talk about that full episode later. Before we get in, we're about to do the draft.
The dorkiest thing I've ever been a part of.
Yes, it's pretty close. New music. We're going to talk about new music a lot today. But new music that we've heard, we want to put out. I'm going to shout out Downfall from Richmond, Virginia. They actually emailed us. I'd already heard it. Moshy stuff, but short songs, quick. Kind of get right to it.
You know
Think like a modernized breakdown to me.
Okay, so I hate that name, but I like short mosh.
Yeah.
If you can get mosh done in a minute 30, that's a good mosh.
They had a
What
fif-
kind of mosh are you talking about?
No,
As
it
compared-
would
Is it
it would
comparable?
tread it would tread between what I would consider tasteful and what Pat would find like his softball. So I thought it was good, and a 50-second song that gets it done, and then there's a nice mosh part in there. Nice. It's not like fastcore or anything. It's good.
Okay, so I think Morgado said that he was listening to that New Trail of Lies last episode.
Yes.
I gave it a listen, like a full listen, which for me, by the way, everybody at home, if you're listening to things exclusively on your computer speakers, that's not a listen. You know what I mean? You're not going to enjoy that. Even if you are like 19 and that's how you've processed 90% of the music in your life, you still need a headphone listen. So, or a good speaker listen, but whatever.
Headphone, driving in your car by yourself, something
Yes,
nice. yeah.
exactly. So I gave it the headphone listen. It becomes too similar, too samey by the end. I don't need that many tracks, but that record is getting a thumbs up from me. Like I said last episode, I think largely on the fact that this man's voice is a parody of a hard voice. It is so far past an acceptable
Circles
hard-
around.
Yes, it does. It really reaches this horseshoe of, is this terrible? Is this good? They touch at some point. Like it's
Well, I mean, the best hardcore really is this terrible or is this good?
yeah, right, exactly.
honestly.
Absolutely.
And that's the New Trail of Lies. I'm going pro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as far as anything else, what else I listen to? New. Oh, I want to pump like rats. Anybody know this act?
No.
Know the
Okay.
name.
So this is ex Weekend Nachos Chicago act that current Hate Force for a lot of people might not be plugged into Hate Force.
Yes.
Hate Force.
I don't know if anyone's plugged into.
Go
Hate
talk
Force
about
yet.
it.
Yeah.
Hate Force
I know one guy.
is
Well,
tied with
Harm's Way.
Shared members. It is the disgusting version of Harm's Way.
is it like the scum metal version of Harm's Way?
I
Would you say?
wouldn't see scum metal wouldn't be my first go-to, but it is scum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Actual,
it,
I mean, the name is
Napalm
pretty scum.
Death style.
it's like it is both Hate Force and Like Rats are maybe too abrasive for me, and I want you to think about what that means. So, but Like Rats, Drew, who was in Weekend Nachos and is one of the most solid dudes in the Midwest. Also, I think a luthier, like he puts guitars together.
Interesting.
Oh wow. Neat.
But
Was he in Boiling Point?
he's been, you know what? He is a all-time utility man for Chicago
Oh,
acts.
okay.
So, like for
He's
example,
not the dude that we stayed with, was he?
possibly.
Okay.
He-
Anyways.
He is like he played on some of those Harm's Way records. You
Oh,
know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
is. I think he's done drums for Owen, if I recall. You know what I mean? Like or
Random.
like maybe
Cool.
bass for Owen.
Nice connection.
Like he is just he plays. He's capable musician with multiple instruments. But Like Rats is really his thing. At least that's the way I see it. And it's scumbag music. It's like. It's scumbag music.
Scumbag music.
It's heavy, it's gross, and it is. I think when this new record comes out, it will appeal to the very thin slot on the Venn diagram that is full of Hell fans and Stigmata fans. So, like,
Wow.
the person that likes both of those things,
Okay.
which is a small sliver,
Yeah.
will be satisfied by this record. So that's what I've been listening to.
Now who's in it? Like singer from Harm's Way?
No,
No.
that's not the singer for Harm's Way.
I haven't heard any of it.
Hate Force.
Talking Hate Force, or
no,
you're
no,
talking
I'm talking like Rats.
Rats, yeah.
Oh gosh, sorry.
Hate Force, I believe, is James from Harm's Way, unless I'm mistaken.
Okay.
Okay.
The record that Travis Riley put me up on, a new record by Extinction AD. It's called Decimation Treaty. If you like, it's literally picture like your favorite parts of the big four thrash bands with Phil Anselmo.
Tom, I'm 18.
without-
What are the big four thrash bands?
That would be Metallica, Anthrax, Megadeth, and Slayer. So picture that with Phil Anselmo singing minus the racism.
You had me until you
the
took the
minus the racism.
until you took the racism out.
It's Rick and Scuzz who were in This Is Hell for a long time. Scuzz is also in the new Howard Jones Killswitch band. He was in
Wow.
Unearthed. He's like a fucking incredible
Yeah.
drummer, and Rick's an incredible guitar player. The record's really, really good. I feel like a lot of people... Rick Jimenez.
Yeah, Rick.
So-
Great dude.
I think there's a lot of people that would love this record.
If it
that
wasn't
are probably,
Rick, this is my honest feeling. Like that band has been around for a minute, getting passed over for a minute.
Why?
Because Rick is in the band. That's
and they
the
just did a
reason.
run with Darkest Hour and Whores.
But where they were getting what?
First band, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. So like my point is that, so Extinction AD is a band that doesn't get taken as seriously as they should for the same reason that we talked about a couple episodes ago, Twitching Tongues.
Okay.
It is hardcore dudes really doing a good job
Very
of
talented
okay, yeah.
playing
songwriters.
something
Seeing it,
that is
seeing
not
it.
hardcore.
Right, they're
And-
not aesthetically being given the,
But I mean, so
the
is
thumbs
Darkest
up.
Hour. Darkest Hour, a bunch of hardcore kids that played metal too.
Yeah, but that was originally metalcore. It's only in the rewriting of history that
They got
that
separated
Darkest
in,
Hour
yeah.
is considered a metal band. You know
Got
what
it,
I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
That
They
started as
really have their own
fucking straight
metalcore.
up metalcore.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely.
But here's my feeling: is that like for people at home that like again listen to this podcast just for the format, don't give a fuck about hardcore. If you think that I've got a persecution complex because I think hardcore people don't like get a shot from some of these other genres, nah, man, nah,
it's
man,
true.
it's the fucking truth.
Yeah.
Like there is
Real
just,
shit.
and I do the same thing. I mean, I honestly, everybody circles the wagons on the genres that mean something to them, and that can sometimes be at the exclusion of actual good musicians doing something worthwhile. That's just a fucking fact. And like, if you're a mature person, you accept that and you find your own lane. but that doesn't mean it's not frustrating. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Absolutely.
But I mean, if you dig like Power Trip,
Oh yeah, this is
you'd
right up
like
your
this
alley.
record. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Extinction
really,
AD.
really
Right
good
up
record. Yeah.
Which reminds me, you talked about Judiciary one time, I think, right?
Yeah, great band.
Texas.
I just gave their split with maybe more mortality rate.
Yes.
I
I think. Yes.
I just gave it my first real listen. That's on some Texas Power Trip sort of shit, and is really pretty strong. You know what I
Really
mean?
strong, and it's in that world, has its own little thing, and I think they deserve more love than they get. I don't know how active they are,
I mean,
and I
feel
think
like
that's
they
the
tour a
only
lot,
piece.
but they're like low key, like more popular than you would think.
I think
I feel
so
like
too.
there's a whole section of
I think
that
so, too.
kind of music, like
I
that heavier
agree,
hardcore
kinda
that you're
Andres.
like Sanction or like all these different
Mhm.
bands that like
No.
on old guy radar you're like, oh, that's cool. It's like new young bands, but those bands are actually the bands that are out there.
Yeah,
regularly
something
doing
is
I think
up.
Judiciary just needs to come up here more. I think that's probably part of it.
Or
I think
just
they'd
be,
kill it.
or just be kings of Texas. Right?
Oh,
Is
I-
that where
Nothing
they're
wrong
at?
with
I
that.
think they're
yeah.
working on it. Yeah, and
So-
why not? Nothing
so-
wrong with that.
So okay, let's talk about that. Texas is a world all of its own, right? That's a little
Yes.
feet quote. So it is so big that if you wanted to make that your
You
little
could do a week tour in that place. No
Oh,
problem.
no question. Especially playing crossover metal.
Yeah.
You can go play some of these weird mid states. One of the pieces that I try to talk about as someone who's lived all over the country, when you are in the Northeast, New York is the center of it. Philadelphia, Boston are kind of reactions to that.
Yep.
The South, Southeast, Atlanta's kind of the
Yep.
centerpiece.
Oh, no
Florida's
question.
on its own thing. Midwest, Chicago is the center. Cleveland, Milwaukee are reactions to Chicago, Minneapolis even. Texas is its own place. Once you
So-
get
so I'm
past there,
planning.
it's basically everything kind of faces California, but
Yep.
Texas could exist on its own, and it's big enough that it basically does.
Okay, so we talked about a band on this podcast. We said that they couldn't travel 60 miles outside their home state and draw anybody, but in
Yes.
their home state, they were drawing real numbers.
Yes,
The person from that band heard the podcast,
the banner. Yes,
texted you,
yes.
and said,
Texas Tom.
"Oh, texted
Hi,
Tom,
Joey.
Slid in my DMs later.
and said,
Thank you, Joey.
true,
What's up?
but we never wanted to go outside our home.
Yeah, it
state."
was
And,
like,
like,
oh, that's
Barrett
not
made
true,
us.
but we just didn't go until much later.
Yeah.
which is smart. I respect the hell out of that. He was like, yo, we got 700 people coming, and we don't have to drive 30 minutes. We good.
Here's the deal. When I was a kid, I hated because Albany had Once and For All, Down Foundation, these bands that would really draw, but like
I remember. Wow.
couldn't
I do too.
leave, couldn't go 40 miles down the Hudson
Didn't
River.
even have the offers
Right,
to go.
But here's the thing. I always thought that was the tackiest thing because nobody liked my band, so we toured all the time
Yes.
because being passed over in Missoula is less hurtful than being passed over in your hometown, right?
Right, yes.
So we would tour all the time because it was just, Albany makes no sense to me. But now, I really see a place for that type of thing, that type of, like, we've talked about it, the Wisdom in Chains of the world. Like, why leave? It can be fun at home.
No, and if you've got that, it's
And those dudes do kill in other places.
they do, but not like they do in
Well, I mean,
Pennsylvania.
they have
like
they
do
have a
good.
theme song for their fucking state.
Right,
That's
I
pretty
know.
much all you really need.
That is
And so,
But I mean, they go
is
to
there
Europe.
there a New York equivalent of that? I don't think there is.
New York State of Mind by
Oh,
Jay-Z.
you're
There you go.
well. I'm talking to hardcore.
In hardcore.
Madball's got something, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
every
Madball,
record has
New
a
York
song
State.
like that. But I
Right,
think
so-
maybe New York Crew.
It's up
But
there.
it's not Pennsylvania.
Before there was
I
a New
fucking
York
love
crew,
you.
there was a Jersey crew. Said Mike Judge. All right.
Yeah.
Quick thing. Local. They're an important part of hardcore past. So we get our fucking old man hats on. Was this sort of localized thing where local sounds kind of had a feeling, and that's gone away, which I'm all right with. But it's also pretty cool when you see that. Like, I think there are places that still do that. I think Richmond's got a sound. I think they got a pervasive thing. I think different places at different times have that. Baltimore, Boston, different places have that. So it's
Well-
cool when you see that represented. And Texas certainly fucking has that.
Te-
Listen to Iron Age, listen to Bitter End, listen to Power Trip, listen to Judiciary.
Correct. We've talked about it a million times. Power Trip, I think, would, because those dudes are smart and respectful. They know what their roots are when it comes to, yeah, it's Iron Age and Bitter End. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's what fucking got us out. Like, that's
Yep.
why we fucking started playing the direction that we started going in. Whatever. That shit is all cool. And as a result, when I say Judiciary sound, oh, yeah, it's on that Power Trip sort of vibe, whatever. Yo, I mean, Power Trip is going to have a really lasting influence on Texas. I mean, we'll see
Texas
we'll
hardcore
see it all
punk
over, but
metal. I think actually that's a cool idea. Power Trip should do a Texas tour.
oh yeah, if they haven't already,
Go play.
Make
Well,
the
I mean, they
shirts.
might have. They've
Make
been
the
a
shirts.
band for like 10 years. It'd be great if they went and did. Yo, we're gonna play El Paso. We're playing Bernie.
The whole
We're
thing.
playing Poteet.
I mean, you
we're
could
playing
legit do like a
McAllen.
week.
McAllen, Pat's spot.
my spot.
Is McAllen like the hipster?
No,
Texas?
oh.
There's some town in Texas that's like
Marfa.
that's what it is.
Marfa.
I-
They're gonna play
I fell in love with McAllen.
Balmoria. McAllen. Can
Oh,
you
you
explain
were really
McAllen?
going deep.
I'm a deep cut on Texas, homie.
Mudshoe, actual place in Texas.
yeah.
McAllen, great
Bottom of the state.
great border town.
It's the valley, the Rio Grande Valley.
Great
They
border
call it,
town
yeah.
where if you wanted, the way I put it, if you like kind of hard boiled, like I like my gumshoes to be hard boiled,
Grizzly kind
like
of.
that sort of thing where it's like if you want to be adjacent to a murder and you want to live in a trailer in the desert and go by a new alias and shit, this is your spot.
Yeah, so I
Like,
know
you
it.
could disappear.
Oh yeah.
My
oh,
God.
Yeah.
You can
It's-
disappear and have a life. I want you to think
Yo,
about
it's
that.
not even.
I would
I'm
be into
trying to
that.
think of the New York equivalent. It's like you can move to Albany if you do something bad and try to keep low, but this is more. This is you're living out by Thousand Islands or something like that. You're in Nowheresville.
It's
You
Plattsburgh.
know, it's,
you're
yes,
living
you're
in
in Plattsburgh.
Without the
All right.
college.
Yeah, without the college.
There's a UT down there, but anyways,
Got it.
yeah. Just one last new music thing. Bitter Melon, which is, from what I understand, is some people from Mass and some people from northeastern Pennsylvania. Kind of like indie-ish rock and stuff.
I like
I
the
haven't
name
really
a
listened
lot.
to Bitter Melon. Really nice.
I like that name.
Uriah, who sang in Dead
Are
End
you
Path,
fucking kidding me?
singing
Wow.
in it. Got a banging voice. I haven't given it the
Are you
listen that I want.
fucking kidding me?
Yo, maybe we play it as an outro on this show. I actually think it's really good. I
Listen,
haven't
I'm
listened
not-
to it enough. I'm
shitting,
psyched
I'm
on
not
it.
shitting on Uriah. I've told you.
Yeah.
His exit from Dead End Path is my favorite stage performance I've ever seen in my life.
Describe.
I don't. Yeah.
I've never talked about this.
Didn't
on
they
this-
No.
just play?
They've done some reunion
Okay.
stuff.
I never talked about
I
this.
put
on
out their
this
demo
podcast.
as a 7-inch.
Look at you.
He straight up was just like, yeah, this band's meant a lot to me. It was good playing with my friends. And he looks around because it's all fill-in members at that point because he alienated the band in some way. They hated his ass.
Sure,
whatever the fuck
whatever.
It was.
Yeah, I think they're all good now.
As we do.
Yeah, well, yeah, whatever. Exactly. There's some stupid beef at the time. And he just looks at him and he goes, I mean, not these guys, but you know what I mean. Like,
Holy
and
shit.
And he was just like, listen, if I'm going to be honest, I just don't have the like, we're breaking up because I don't have the passion for this shit anymore. Like, I'm over it. I'm spent. And like, he's playing in front of a crowd that wants to go off, and he is deflating them. Like, just
Like,
yeah, it's
like this
so
shit is not
fun.
really what I wanted to be doing
It's
anymore.
so fun.
Right, that's
because
amazing.
like to me it was like performance art where he's
Yeah.
just like he comes out there, he does the fucking song, it's aggressive, and then he's just like, yeah, glad you enjoyed that. Listen, I don't really want to be here. And I thought it was so.
Here's the next one.
The only thing I'm shocked I haven't brought this up on the podcast. The only thing I've seen compare it to is the kid from Another Breath. Another Breath was over being Another Breath way before Another Breath broke up. But they had like some shows.
Give a
or-
background because they're not remembered.
Okay.
Rochester.
Rochester sounds right. I don't think it was Syracuse. I think it was Rochester. Rochester band. You know, there was a whole moment for some of
Yes.
this shit. You know what I mean? I don't know how to even describe that shit that was going on at the
Modern
time.
hardcore. but
Modern
at the
hardcore.
time.
Yeah. Amazing core if you're being a dick.
Yes.
So, but they were an earnest sort of like serious ass band, except when it was like time to break up. And then I believe the man's name is Ted. I haven't seen him in years and years, but like he would legit like do like, you know what Justice does now in Angel Dust, where like there's like a strange dance element to the band.
Yeah. His performance art has been quite performative.
Justice is on one right now. I love watching Angel Dust, but like Ted was doing that in an ultra fucking earnest, like
Modern
Straight
hardcore.
ahead,
modern,
yeah.
yes, and
Like
like
Modern Life is War, but you're up there being silly.
yes, and it was so fucking fun to watch those last few shows where it was just like he was doing like not the hokey pokey, but like he was like really like
chicken dance.
Yes!
Happy
And so he was
dances.
like that over it.
he
that
was
he was just
fucking spent, and it was just so fun to watch because like listen, people at home. We talked about half hour earlier on this podcast. If you don't actively pivot to new fun things to do in music, you can really get caged up in this shit. And
Yes.
some people experience it within a year. Some people it
Yep.
takes 5 years, but you will eventually experience it unless you are actively pushing against it. And when you reach the point where you can't pivot, it's time to break up because you're going to go insane.
Correct. All right. So Bitter Melon. All right. Let's go.
Okay, so do you want to explain this, or would you like one of us to explain it?
I will explain it. So
Oh, good, because I don't know what the fuck we're doing.
I know
so.
Tom has been reluctant, but he's gonna have a really good time.
Yay, sports.
So for Tom, you actually like
I
sports.
love sports, but
Yeah,
I don't
the
do
fuck,
fantasy
dude.
draft
All right.
bullshit.
So the exercise today is a Hardcore Fest fantasy draft. The disclaimers, etc.
I'm going to perform as another breath guy and just be like, whatever, man.
Yeah, I know. Tom's pretending he didn't do it. He printed out the sheets.
Yeah, you
He's got
can't better
11
prepared than
pages.
any of
Because you
us.
motherfuckers are feral and don't own a goddamn printer.
Who owns a printer?
I can't. I know. Let me
My
go.
goddamn
Let me
job.
let me go order a printer from the payphone right
Yeah.
now. So
Brick from brick.
Hardcore Fest fantasy draft. The deal of this is we went through every This Is Hardcore, Sound and Fury, United Blood, Black and Blue Bowl, Not Dead Yet, FYA, and Damage City since 2015.
Very extensive.
Made a list of every band who played within reason. I exempted a few bands, Expire, because they are
They're
I don't
not
think,
relevant.
I don't think anybody's asking him right now.
We weren't drafting them anyways.
yeah, that's fair.
One of the other bands, Stone, same shit.
Outta
You're
here.
out. And any other fucking horse shit like that we caught, you're out. There were a lot of doubles. The final list came out to be about 480 bands.
15 pages in Microsoft Excel for you. fans
So
out there?
I assigned point values, which are the quote unquote cost of each band to play. They were assigned kind of loosely. Just these aren't based in reality, so you know.
That's an important thing to stress. So part of the reason that we're doing this is because every summer festivals are announced, and every summer somebody who's never booked a fest in their life
Why didn't you get?
yes, believes that they could do a better job, or thinks that you aren't checking for the things that they value, and they're angry. And so, listen, people that do fests, after a few years, you become totally a nerd to that, and you just it's water off your back. But it's still a thing that happens, and we thought that we would play into that 100% by booking our own fucking fests on paper. Let's just be fair. When Tom says this might be the nerdiest thing he's ever done, I'm going all in. I write comic books for a living, and this is the nerdiest thing I've ever done.
I went to graduate school and law school.
And this is the
And
nerdiest,
this is the nerdiest thing I've ever
This
done.
is the nerdiest thing.
Yeah.
That said,
It's fine.
It's going to be fucking fun. Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So-
Yo,
My
embrace
fest is
that
good.
shit.
I'm worried.
Do you have a name for your fest? Well, before
I
you
do.
say, okay, good.
Oh,
Stop.
It's
Stop.
punny.
Don't. Yes, good. So just continue on the rules of engagement. We are gonna make this available probably next week, so you'll get it. And
You'll
you
get
can
it beforehand.
You'll get it beforehand.
Yeah.
So play along, listen. Some of the things to consider when you're putting together a fest, because the dudes who do This Is Hardcore, the dudes who do every one of these fests, every year they hear from you, oh, why didn't you do X? Why didn't you do Y? They think about this. They think about what they're putting on and why and how and who's playing, what days, how many days. That's all in for you.
Didn't you beta test this with Riley?
I did beta test this with Riley from Sound and Fury.
and he killed it.
He killed
because
it. I'm
this
gonna
is like
show-
him doing a Rubik's cube that he already knew.
Right, and that's why I think I'm going to be pretty good at it. I haven't done it yet. I haven't, because I didn't think that was fair for me to like do a dry run through. I was like, I'll just do this on the fly.
Interesting.
So the rules of engagement, because guess what? When you do a festival, you don't have unlimited money. You can't look at all the high-priced, high-point value bands and go, I'm just going to book all these. There is a point value. The maximum budget is 750 points.
okay. So
And you're looking to shoot for a good festival, whether that to you is a 3-day, a 4-day, a 2-day, with a pre-show, without, whatever you want to do. and you're looking to have somewhere in the area of 40 bands. However you want to spread it out. And I'm going to make this allowable. If you only have 32, fine. 36, fine. But do your best to get to what you would consider a well-rounded festival, and we hope to see some of yours.
Okay. So, again, I think Bob touched on this. I'm going to put a fine point on it so that I don't hear from anyone. Every band was assigned a number, a point value.
Sort of arbitrarily.
It is legitimately one person's largely arbitrary shot at this for the sake of amusement. If you catch your band undervalued on this piece of paper, do not, under any circumstances, think that we were taking a shot at you, and under no circumstance, unless it is in the spirit of fun, write us about it.
Don't at me. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to do this snake draft style. We're going to take time and talk about some of the stuff when we feel like it and breeze through shit when we don't.
Can you explain what snake draft style
Okay,
is
snake
for us
draft
folks that
is-
don't know what that means?
Snake draft is when the person who selects first. So the three of us in the room, let's just for sake go that it goes Bob, Pat, Tom, which is alphabetical order. We're not going to do that. We have a randomizer that we're about to do.
This
Bob,
is-
Pat, Tom. Let's say Bob, Pat, and Tom are drafting. I would pick first. Pat would pick second. Tom would pick third. Because it's snake draft,
I pick.
Tom would then pick fourth. Pat would pick fifth. I would pick sixth. Then I would pick seventh. Pat would. So it kind of flip-flops so that you kind of even it out.
That's fair.
Okay? So, randomizer. We are doing the fest. Let's see. The order of the fest goes Tom.
Yeah.
I have the second pick, and Pat has the third pick. Typically in snake drafts, you want to be first or last. So
Right.
I'm in the shit position.
So, people at home, the notion of a draft, in case you're not into sports, means that once something is selected, it's taken off the board.
Yes.
So, that's the challenge here, is that we are running 3 competing fests. Now, in reality, fests can share bands, but
We think they should when
yeah,
they
and
should.
they should.
Yes.
Particularly if they're on different coasts. You know what I mean? Fuck it.
Different
But-
coasts, different times, whatever. you
So,
know.
I mean, are there bands that are being shared between Damage City and?
United Blood? I am not sure.
I feel like there might be.
I don't know. I haven't looked
Interesting.
at both lineups together.
Pat just gave me the shittiest look.
Because you keep
It's the way
holding
you
the
hold that
microphone. Yeah, it's
You
okay.
see,
Don't
hold
worry
it like
about
a
it.
psychotic. Okay, so
You're holding it fine. Don't worry.
so
I hate this.
so
This is my
all right.
last podcast.
Tom,
Love you guys. Thanks so much for the
You've
support.
got the first pick. Who
And
you
wait,
going with?
before, since it's the first pick, tell us the name of your fest and where it is.
Live Fest Die Young.
Ooh.
How's that?
Live Fest Die Young, and where is it?
Um,
This is important.
this is very important. I'm not going to say New York.
Wow. Okay.
Joshua Tree. I'm going to say
Wow. Okay.
Mojave Desert.
Yeah. Look at you. All
'Cause
right.
I love it.
Yeah, it
Okay,
is really
all
nice
right,
out there.
fair.
Okay. So it's going to be a little bit remote, something to think about, something we thought about with Sound and Fury. The early ones were that we were like, oh, cool, we'll do it there because we don't want people to get distracted. Now they flipped the model and moved it to downtown LA because they're like, fuck it, we want kids to be psyched and have things to do, which is a difference. But
Right, people being able to go. get
Mojave
coffee.
Desert,
Yeah.
this
I
is
don't know,
truly
that
the
made that up.
this is the Coachella of Hardcore Fest.
It really is. We
Okay.
can do it in the Coachella Valley.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay. So make your pick.
My first pick for Live Fest Die Young. I'm going Title Fight
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
Good one.
because I think they check all the boxes.
That's a 70 point. Is that correct?
70
That is a
points.
70-pointer. And
That's
I think
right.
you'll get the most bang for your buck.
They're a great one. Huge appeal across the board. I think that's a really solid pick. All right. Since I'm picking second, I'm just gonna nail this one. Turnstile.
Wait, what's your fest name?
Oh, okay, right. I forgot this. I set the rules. Possessed Fest.
Oh, okay. Sounds very like one of those
Very thrashy.
I was gonna say UK fests to me.
It's
Iron
a
Monkey or somebody's headlining or something. Yeah.
it's a nod to suicidal tendencies because I couldn't find another song off that Youth Brigade record. So.
Okay, all right. Yeah, there you
It's
go.
a nod to suicidal tendencies, but also to a Sound and Fury band, Violation, who put a record out called Possessed once that is fucking great, that we put out. And it is in Southern California. Know why? Because 40 million people live in California, so I'm getting
fucked
y'all
up.
there. No, you did okay, but I'm going to be doing
I
better.
mean, I feel like you'd be remiss not to pick California.
Well,
Fear
we'll
Festival.
see. I mean, when
I was
Pat
al- I
picks
was
Rensselaer,
considering
it's going to be a
Chicago.
thing. So
I was going to consider
Chicago's
Chicago
good.
because it's like centrally located,
Oh yeah.
but California's pretty rad.
All right. So, anyways,
There you
my first pick is Turnstile.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
65 points.
I watched the league for like every season, so this is gonna get real bad.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Turnstiles can't don't even need an explanation.
No, don't need an explanation. That's a good pick. My fest, we're gonna call it the Tasteful Ignorance Fest, sponsored by Harm Reduction Records
And Monster Energy drink.
and Monster Energy.
He got them
drink.
sponsors.
Monster Energy.
Tom's having more fun than he thought he was going to have anyways already.
And I'm going with Incendiary.
Ooh.
Wow.
Nice pick.
Respect. Where is it?
Oh, okay. So this is my fest. It is in. You guys already want your Southern California thing. I'm jumping on that train. San Diego for this reason, because I want to give respect to pre-shows that are in Tijuana, and there is a couple satellite scenes
Yes,
around
there are.
San Diego. That is like a lot of Mexican kids, a lot of kids that aren't like necessarily the city kids. They might be like.
Is that like Pomona or is that further?
No,
No,
That's
further
more.
south.
That's IE. That's San Diego's its own thing.
So I think that throwing those kids who do their own DIY shows, throwing them a couple pre-shows, throwing the kids
Yeah.
in Tijuana a couple pre-shows,
Absolutely.
I think is like a good way to get some people over the border to have a good time. Also south of San Diego, which just a lot of people don't do. You know what I mean? So, and San Diego, not for nothing, is a place that people want to go and have a good time when they're there.
San Diego's
weather is
fucking
perfect.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you do it.
I'm taking Orange County just to formalize
Okay,
mine.
all right. So fuck
Okay.
the East
Show
Coast.
my fucking
We-
OC love. Yeah,
we just had to-
we talk a lot about like New York. Yo, we all getting the fuck out of here for this
It's
one.
cold.
Yeah,
We
fuck
had a
it.
goddamn nor'easter.
Yeah. Okay, Pat, you're on pick.
Are we
five.
picking how long our fest will be?
Yes, you can.
Did we have to do that first?
Now we'll get into that unless you
Yeah.
want to announce. What are you thinking?
I'll do mine like when I get to mine.
Okay. Uh,
Beginning of the second round. Pat, pick 5.
okay, so this wouldn't
Pick 4, rather.
be my normal go-to. No disrespect to this band, but because it is a California fest, I gotta go Rotting Out.
Oh, rotting out. 60 points. All right. And they're doing their first show back at Sound and Fury. I think that's going to be fucking huge. Do they do a new record?
They should.
Great.
I don't. So okay, here's a real quick. Rotting Out put out enough material that they have interest in whatever they're doing moving forward without putting out so much that they've spent the fucking load.
Sure.
So I think they should.
All right. My pick. I'm making this easy. Power Trip.
Oh, you are. You going for
motherfucker.
the bangs.
That was my go-to.
Oh, okay. What do you got? I mean,
That was
would've been on my
65.
list too.
So my fest would only be 2 days because I'm old, and 3 days is too much.
Asking too much. Okay.
And we're in the fucking desert.
Yep.
You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? Maybe go rock climbing on
Sure.
the other
Fuck
days
yeah,
or
man.
whatever. You know what I mean?
Like that.
So I have Title Fight headlining my first night. My second night headliner would be, to keep with the 1%er, I'm going Code Orange.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Oh.
All right. 65 right
So
there.
have we taken the big pieces off the board already?
There's still
I mean, there are bigger
some big
pieces.
pieces. There's
I
bigger
sort-
pieces.
I sorted
and
mine
you can
by
see this
cost.
on yours. Yeah, you can see this on your map. A lot of reunions. Also, a couple things that I'll throw out in speech. Because of the times they broke up, both Bane and Foundation are available on the board. They're just exorbitant because if you were trying to book them now, you're paying that Skrilla.
Yeah. you
They
have
ain't
to-
doing it,
they're
but
not
we're going to
doing
make it crazy. So, all right.
Well, can I put a thought out on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Are we allowed
sure.
to?
Yeah, please.
I feel like if Foundation reunited, no one would be upset. I feel if Bane reunited, people would be upset.
Correct.
I think
Is
Bane,
that a weird? Like, I feel like
No, that's a fact.
people would be stoked on both bands. I love both bands, but I think people would be like, think about how long people were like, "Oh, last Bane tour, it's gone on for 3 years."
Right.
I think
thought that
people
was,
would be
yeah.
really pissed off if they did it.
100%.
I think they would be, and I
But
think
no
it's,
one would be upset about Foundation.
No.
there's got to be some asshole who's getting in their feelings about it, but I don't think
Not
that's right.
comparably,
No,
yeah.
not comparably.
Yeah.
I think that both those bands should be able to do whatever the fuck they want. I thought that yes, Bane had much more fanfare with their last tour, but I think it was sort of because they needed to, because people like My partner is a
people out
Bane
there.
super fan.
That's your Bane.
We went to like 5 or 6 of those shows.
That's
She
a
was
super
really
fan.
excited. It was her favorite band, so we went. So yeah, I think people would be weirdly upset about it. All right, so you are now on your next pick.
Oh, I'm back already.
You're back, snake draft.
Sick. I'm going for. Can't go wrong. Trapped under ice. Trapped under ice. Baltimore's
TY.
best. And I have,
All right,
I have no
you
money
got a
left.
nice.
It's a
yeah.
it's a solid pick.
I have no money left.
We're gonna do a money stop probably around in a little while, but we'll keep going for right now.
So we're going to be doing
Points.
36 rounds of this.
Well,
If we're
we're
really
gonna go
thinking
quick, but this is going quick. We're in round 3 already, so don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. We don't have to do this 12 more times.
We're
Yeah,
good.
chill out, man. Just relax. All right.
I mean, do we do like group picks at the end? Be like, I
Yeah,
will pick
we're gonna-
these
yeah.
5 openers.
We're gonna bargain for the 5.
Yeah, there's going to
for
be
the
some
5-pointers.
quicker.
Sure.
All right, so
We should have probably done this reverse.
no, you can pick whatever you want.
But
As
I'm
you're
saying,
gonna
like,
see-
you want to build it up to like.
Can't.
As you're going to see from my pick right now,
Alrighty.
I am taking. Oh wait, where is it? They're over here. Here, sorry, I just lost them on the map. I'm taking Trail of Lies for 25.
Whoa, this is a wild card. You're going with the smaller budget now. I might do the same.
Just gotta stay relevant, homie.
You know what? I was gonna go with something that is a surefire in California, but I'm gonna go with something that's solid in California for less money, and that is God's Hate.
Mm.
I think that is a solid for
Where
my
are they at? What is their value?
for my fest, which is let's
Oh,
see.
20. They're 20.
I think they're a steal at 20 because
Yeah,
in,
understood, right.
in California that's the thing. And
Are we considering that?
We can talk about that. It's worth talking about when we throw it out, so you guys can pick who picked the best. You can. I mean, we're all doing it in California, so there's some regional stuff.
Right, but I feel
If
like
you
I
were
don't-
booking a real fest, guess what? If you book local, it usually helps how much you have to spend for that. But we're not factoring that in here. So
Right, because like fucking Joshua Tree, I should have like Caius or something. Like I feel like
true.
none of
Yeah,
my,
yeah,
like-
yeah.
that's true.
Dude, definitely, actually. But
So the thing is that my fest, which I want to be that clever mix of super heavy and also
super intelligent,
and super
kind of
intelligent,
like artsy. Sure.
yeah, that sort of
I
thing.
mean, that's you in a nutshell.
Is that me?
I mean, I think you're super arty,
Oh, okay,
artsy, and the music that you release is relatively ignorant,
okay, yeah,
but done by smart people.
yeah, but
but
ignorant.
ignorant.
self-defense isn't ignorant.
No, he's talking what I put
No,
out.
no.
So,
Oh yeah. Oh, what he puts
Not
out.
his-
Oh yeah.
No.
So-
Harm reduction. Yeah.
but I would go for a balance because going for the pure, like unadulterated shot in the arm of ignorance can be a bit much. You know
Too
what I mean?
much. Too much. Yeah, you got to mix it up. All right. You're on your next pick.
I am.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what you guys come on.
Yeah. Sorry.
We're never gonna have this.
It's all right. That's why I'm leading the flow.
Okay, so to counterbalance some of the heavy shit, I'm gonna go with another California surefire, and that's Ceremony.
Ooh, nice.
It's a high,
Smart
it's a
pick.
high, it's a high value, I think,
They're a high value
They're a
band.
high value band.
but
They're a headliner.
I think that they really bring in the sort of person that I want at my fest.
Great pick.
The opening for their set at Sound and Fury 16, 15, I don't remember,
16. Yes.
was one of the most wild things I've ever like witnessed.
Magical, yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah. All right, my pick. Hey Pat,
Yeah.
go fuck yourself. Detain.
No, you got the good value. Detain. Yo, honestly,
Detain for
Detain.
10.
So okay, Detain thinks it's funny that I mentioned Detain every
Yes, they do.
episode of this fucking podcast. But I'm gonna say Detain has an opportunity with that Sound and Fury to like they're playing Sound and
To
Fury.
crack
this
it
year.
open, man. I
They
do.
could crack California open for them.
Yeah, I think that's not typically my lane, but actually after the Ivy episode where she was vibing and I listened to that newest stuff. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. So
Yeah,
kudos
we
on
only
that.
bust chops. We're psyched on those dudes.
Yeah. All right.
I
it
get to
is
go?
Your turn. Yep.
All right. I don't know. What do I go for? I'm gonna ape you guys and steal. You know,
Yeah.
go for a good price. And this is gonna hurt Bob. I'm going Blind Justice.
Oh, you motherfucker. All right. Blind Justice got a new record coming out on Edgewood and no, whatever.
Is
On
what's
Bleep
the
and
end?
Bleep. We're just gonna.
Well,
there's
the Edgewood
secret
is
stuff.
known.
Yeah, Edgewood and Flat Spot. So they should
Oh,
be
cool.
announcing that soon. That's
Yep.
cool. All right. So now you got another pick.
I got another one. All right, good.
Yeah, you get.
Yeah.
That's why I got to get my
not
spikes
in
in.
the
I feel like
We're not into this draft.
I feel like they
You're getting there.
fixed it, so like I'd be into it because I got the first pick.
No, you saw the randomizer.
I don't know.
did
I
a
feel
random.
like it was like, hey, New York needs
Ugh.
some help. We're gonna give him Patrick Ewing. I think that's what you just did.
Oh,
to me.
icy envelope.
The icy
They-
envelope.
All right, sticking on the young crew,
This is a good pick.
Eco Strike.
Yeah, that's a
Really good pick. Really good pick.
That's a good pick. We'll see if the hype can carry over from the East Coast to the West. But
Uh,
I
It
think
already
it
is.
will, man.
Yeah?
I think
They
it will.
played last year, dude.
is it? But did it go over?
Big.
It did- oh,
They
okay,
went over
all
big,
right.
and it'll go big on what is it? Live fast, die young.
Live fast, die young.
Okay.
In the middle of the desert.
All right. We're continuing. Like right now is where you get them bargain picks free.
Okay.
Good call.
For what money?
20.
That is a good. That's a good value.
Will they continue a huge upward trajectory? Because with free, and now Pat just threw it out in an interview. He's like, it's half heart.
Yeah,
it's
I
half
caught
heart
that.
continue. It was cool
Yeah.
that he said that. But
Because we all kind of thought that.
yeah, and I mean they are not denying it, but actually to embrace and go, yeah, it's half heart. We're just doing new material, and we're not fucking looking backwards. We're doing this now. The
Which is
thing
insane.
that people forget is that Half Heart did tour hard.
Yeah.
They went really hard, and that helped them a lot. And Free, I think, has got a similar energy. Dudes are older, don't tour as much, and who knows where that goes.
Okay, my pick.
Pat's pick.
I'm going for a value pick that, you know what, may be overvalued. We don't know yet, to be honest. But for the vibe, we got Ceremony in there. I'm going Sheer Mag.
Ooh, nice. There you go.
Because if I got Ceremony and Sheer Mag, I don't need anything else smart for the rest. I can go real. You know
You
what
go
I mean?
You're going
straight
real
ignorant.
ignorant.
Yeah, because
no.
I got the like notable. Hey, we're smart sort of
Yeah,
shit.
Good. Okay, and you got another pick right now?
Fuck. I'm gonna overspend for this. But
I know what you're going.
I don't think you do. I'm overspending for Full of Hell.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, big all right.
Yo, your fest is smarter than you'd like to give yourself.
That's what I'm
credit for.
saying. I'm
Yeah.
saying that we're balancing. Now I'm going straight ig after this.
Where's Full of Hell?
Does
What's
anyone
the
keep a
value?
track of any of this stuff?
Uh,
Or we
Oh
keep
yeah,
it-
we're keeping it all tracked.
Who?
Full of Hell is 35.
Okay, I'm marking
That's a big
everything
number.
down.
It is. You know what?
I don't know that it is for them.
No. Here's the deal. I
What's
think
what would you say the equivalent dollar value? Is there no? such-
No, I can't.
if
There's
we
no
say
real
that, if
value.
we say that, we're gonna get.
Yeah,
That's true.
And,
That's
and
what we
honestly,
really
I don't.
get
I actually don't know what they get. So I mean, I think Full Hell, you get a really neat cross section of different
That's what
people.
I'm saying.
And I think whenever they play hardcore fest with more straightforward people, they win fans every time.
100%. I don't know what the Full of Hell people are into right now. If they're trying to be like the art metal band or some shit, but when they play just a straight up show, people like it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like they don't
Sure.
need to be art metal all the time. They could fucking play a straight up show and people,
people will freak out.
people will freak out.
All right. I have to be careful. There's a couple selfish picks I need to make, but I'm not. I'm holding out. It's like
You're
when you
hoping that
have
we
that
don't take
prospect.
them off the board.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
board.
But I'm also like spiteful, so I see stuff like I'm like, oh, Earthcrest is still on the board. I'm not taking them. I am taking
Because your Four Punch fan
Right,
club
no,
membership
but-
would be
but I'm
revoked
just- no,
immediately.
it wouldn't be because they know where I stand. I am going to take. Throw this wild card out there. Oh, I almost did, but then because my fest is in California, I'm avoiding it. Let's go. Fury. Gonna
Okay.
rep for Orange County.
That's a
Cool.
good California pick for
That is
sure.
a big one.
They need to bring it live at that show though, because they're hometown heroes. They better like just go fucking wild out there.
Yeah, I mean they got to get all their homies there to fucking do the Vane crew.
Yes. All right,
Yes.
Tom, your turn.
Since we're in California and I got a heavy day, even though we don't like.
Oh shit, theme day. All right, you got it.
I mean, that sort of theme.
You can do it. It's your festival.
Zobalba.
Zabalba, okay.
Okay.
What's the points?
That would be 25.
Oh, nice. I think that's value at 25.
Absolutely in California.
But
100%.
I've heard different things. I hear that sometimes they draw really well, and then I hear sometimes people don't care. It's a weird thing to me because on the optic side, I think they do really well. All right. And then Tom, remember, it's your pick again.
Yeah. All right.
You see why having the first and last pick is better
Yeah.
than Snake?
Yeah,
It's
It's
great.
fun. Let's see. This is fun. It's a tough call. It's a
This is
tough
where this is a fun thing. When you're doing a draft, it's tough. Next time we'll do a bidding draft where you bid out for it and you still have a budget,
Oh,
but
I
you
like
bid
that.
against
I
each
like
other.
that, yeah.
Oh my God, it's one of the most fun things. There's some big names still on the board.
There are.
As you can see, we kind of have pulled back. I'm gonna do a quick Pat. Do your tally. How much you have right now?
Hold on.
I'm gonna go. Can I pick?
Yes.
I'm going King 9.
King 9. I think
Oh,
that's a
okay.
really good
That
value
could be
pick.
a really solid value pick. Yeah.
I think that was great. King 9, new record coming out this year soon. Actually,
Actually,
yeah, on Closed Casket, and I believe it's all recorded, isn't it?
it's done. It's like mastered and everything. I think
Oh shit! Psyched to hear that. All right,
done by War Hungry dude
Arthur.
Rizek.
Yes. Or as he's listed on the Bitter Melon Bandcamp, Grammy nominated Arthur Rizek.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I
That's
like
awesome.
that. Arthur, shout out. All right. So Pat was going on this whole thing about let me make sure my fest is smart. Let me make sure my fest has these elements. Yeah, let me throw a checkbox out at you guys. I hope our fests aren't the same time, Tom, because Indecision is playing my fest,
Oh,
and
shit.
Look at him just
you
doing that to
can't
be a dick.
you can't do it. There you go. So Indecision.
How much did that
45.
hurt for you to do
45.
that? How much did that hurt you though to have to
Doesn't
pick
it
me?
doesn't hurt. You pick lots of things, and I know now your fest is going to lose a lot of money because you're going to be over here playing mine.
It's the same day. Like, this is tough. This is tough.
Okay, I can't believe that nobody selected this because it's so much the moment and perfect for my fest. Have we not selected Vane?
Yep,
No.
they're still out there. Good value
Vane
pick.
at 25 is perfectly priced. I'll take it.
Good pick.
Good call.
Another band with an LP coming out this year. It's all done. I think it's
CCA?
Closed Casket. Yeah, so we're on that. Indecision, another band with a new LP coming out this year. I
Hey,
think it's on Harm Reduction. I'm not sure though.
Split. We're gonna do split record. With
Okay. So I got another pick, and I'm going to go with, let's see, what is the vibe for what I'm doing? I mean, there's an obvious pick, but I think I'm currently priced out of a lot of things. So instead, I'm going to go for kind of the value stuff. I'm going to go No Zodiac.
Oh, okay.
at-
Getting that. You're on some heavy shit
Well,
right there.
here's the thing. If you have Ceremony, you can go No Zodiac. If you don't have Ceremony, you can't go No Zodiac without it being a statement. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Like you're able to kind of they cancel each other out.
Yeah, this is where
right.
I'm at.
Exactly right.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna go in that same vein. And you that was your second pick.
That was my second.
Candy.
Oh,
damn
that
it,
was
I
on
had my eye
list
on it.
too.
20.
Yeah, that was
Fuck.
my list too.
See, this is why drafting is fun.
Yeah, I feel that.
All right.
Converting the non-believers. Candy just finished West Coast Weekend with Trail of Lies. I heard those shows. Did you see any of the videos?
Dude, I saw the video of both bands from Program, I guess,
Yep.
in Fullerton. Wild.
I know. I really want to go to
Candy
shows
was,
there.
Like, I expected Trail of Lies to be fucking,
Yeah.
like, kill it, but, like, Candy was fucking crazy.
Candy's fucking great. Those
Yeah.
are two bands who, if you get the chance, you have to see them live. Trail of Lies is going to Puerto Rico soon, so
They're
God
there
bless.
now.
Are they there
My
now?
buddy Noel.
Oh,
Noel
yeah, that's right. They
booked
just
it.
went down.
Yeah.
Banging.
And he's like, here's me with Trail of Lies in Walmart.
Tom, your picks.
Staying with the California vibe, I'm going Forced Order.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what? I thought about it. I thought that was on my.
They're a great band.
And where are they at? They are.
They're right next to King 9, 25.
Okay, good. All right. Decent value, I think, for them.
Yeah.
Do we think Forced Order has gotten bigger or smaller in the last
Smaller,
couple of years? Yeah,
Smaller,
right.
no debate.
And I don't even say that in the diss way. It's
Hell
just
no, just a thing.
yeah. Do you guys? And actually, we've been asked to talk about Forced Order for a minute. What do we all think about their last LP on Triple B?
I liked it a lot.
You liked it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so here's the deal: the people that listen to it seem to like it. I just don't know anybody that it just didn't get the shine that their name demanded. Even
Yeah,
just
I
a
know.
year
Do you think it was a
before.
weird
Pairing of label?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think,
Like Triple B is usually kind of that more traditional hardcore. and
but
they
I
would-
don't think that.
No?
I think that the newest LP is much better than the LP on Rev. And I don't know if
Agreed.
that's a nice thing to say or not. I think that the LP on Rev was a lot of parts and not a lot of songs. I please don't take that as a diss. I've known a lot of you dudes since you were young, and you guys are fucking awesome. But the newest LP is a huge step up from that, and I just haven't found myself going back to it. So that's on my list to revisit this week.
I go again. God damn it.
Don't take the silence as anything. We're just
No.
sorting through.
Yeah, it's tough. There's 15 fucking pages
Yeah.
of Excel spreadsheet that I'm going through just for the love, because I love you guys.
And just to give the lay of the room while Tom thinks of it, Pat's on his laptop. I'm using my phone on a formatted version I have, and Tom
And
has the
I'm
printouts.
working with paper.
Yeah, it's God bless.
It makes
That's-
sense
that's
with
good.
all the age.
Yeah, actually, that really works.
Yeah,
'Cause
age-wise.
I'm the youngest. I'm on my phone. Pat's on his laptop. Tom's on.
I got
the
a
My,
pen and
my,
paper.
my 2011 laptop, by the
yeah,
way.
yeah, true.
I'm going to take one out of left field because it's California, and I think this would really do really well. I'm going Adolescence.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Wow.
I feel like they bring in that whole like
you
crazy,
get some of the,
like,
more of the punk vibe.
yeah.
Just remember that that band plays there enough, so the rest of your lineup better at least have something else for them to look at. Because if it's
Thanks
just
for earning my fucking pick.
no, I'm just saying it's a thing you have to think about when you
Fair.
book a band like that. All right, my pick, and this is where I start to get my selfish Jones out. I'm going Day by Day.
Oh.
More door.
So that was on my short list of young hot shit, right? We need some of that
You
young,
need some young
hot,
hot
shit.
shit.
Look, and I'm open to trades. So
Okay,
if you guys want to start looking at
you got Trail of Lies, Candy, and
Day by Day,
it's a lot of young. You got Eco Strike. That's a good young.
that's a good young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good young.
Okay, so I'm going not young necessarily, but established, but still not one of the. I'm going Criminal Instinct.
Hard.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Good call.
I think that is a hard band that fits the vibe and is not undervalued at 30, but I feel
Properly
like,
valued.
I think properly valued.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of a steal from my fest.
Okay, good.
Okay.
And now it's your next pick.
Now it's my next pick, which is going to be. Damn. I saw another true fucking value down here. Let's see. Some of this value pricing.
And so some of this you got to remember, you're just balancing out. You want to start sifting through. You want to have that middle of the day.
For
what you
sure.
got for the beginning. It's important stuff to kind of get to
Oh.
first.
Okay, so we don't know how this next record is going to hit. Some of the fucking talk has like quieted because they've waited so long. But I'm going to gamble and say that for 20, Jesus Pieces could potentially be one of the best pieces on this
Ooh.
board, because if their next record fucking hits, yo, that's I could have a fucking potential fucking 50-pointer for
And
peanuts.
pulling from a different audience slightly. We haven't. This is the first time I think we've mentioned Jesus Piece on this podcast. What do we think?
That's possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jesus Piece, things were really loud for them.
Really loud.
And then they took forever to get around to an LP. Is that correct? They still haven't released it?
Forever to get around to an LP in modern time. I did this with someone else. They're on the same exact path line as a band like Bane was, but it's just been 20 years. So the band, I think they started 2015. That feels like a long time ago.
Yeah, even despite the fact that it isn't remotely. But
No.
but yeah, so Jesus Piece are the real deal live. Their This Is Hardcore set, I watched the video of it, and firstly was impressed at how far. Now, granted, that's
No.
hometown show, whatever. But
Sure.
But they started, in my view, as a dismissible post-deathcore dudes are getting into hardcore
Sure,
sort of
yes.
thing, and that was the criticism.
Yep.
And I got it. You know what I mean? I got the criticism, but like, I think that having seen a somewhat recent performance, they've really transcended those particular criticisms and are now a really good heavy hardcore act that like delivers live. So I think that on this table they're undervalued.
Yep.
But only kind of. It's
Yes,
quiet.
that's right.
It's quiet
It's
for
quiet
them.
for them.
It's quiet for
and
them
that's
right
what
now.
the point value reflects.
But I think that could turn around in a heartbeat if the record is hot.
And I'm curious to see what they do with the record, just because I think post-deathcore is a good way to describe their soundish, but that sort of describes a lot of hardcore in 2018 and not being a dick. It's just that was
Nah,
an entry
listen,
point for a lot of people.
fucking
You know what I
judgment.
mean?
Also, I've played a show with those dudes, but I don't know them. It's possible that they don't even listen to that shit. I don't know, but like, but the the perception was that, and people tried to write them off as that.
That's right.
And I think that they, through good live performance, they are fighting their way out of that. However, you need a record.
They need a record. They need
Right.
this record to really land. All right, that was your second pick?
I
Yes.
believe that was second
Okay.
pick.
All right, back on me, and I'm gonna go with my favorite Pittsburgh hardcore band, Concealed Blade.
Oh, you know what? Okay.
20 points. Get a little bit different vibe. Heard they did a tour out there earlier this year that did great. If you haven't heard that LP, it came out last year on Beach Impediment Records. It's fucking great, especially if you're into the more punk side of shit. It's awesome. Tom, it is your pick, my friend.
All right. I'm going to go for value right now. And I'm not doing this facetiously. I am going to pick for the Title Fight Day a low-key popular band, which I was unaware of. I'm going Drug Church.
Oh, wow.
Ooh,
Okay.
I looked at the
The scans, the streams.
the streams, man. I was quite impressed.
Yeah, we're killing it.
You really are. I always thought of Self Defense as like the main band, but
No, but so,
Give us your story there.
so interesting thing. Because of the respective age and entry point for the respective listeners, Self-Defense will probably sell more physical of our next. Okay, so okay.
Sure.
Eminem and Migos had records come out at the same time. Eminem's physical was insane, but his streaming was weirdly quiet. Migos
Sold 4 records.
physical
and, yeah.
was ass,
Right.
but streaming was crazy. Self-Defense, I think on our next LP is going to do
Eminem numbers.
Eminem numbers and
Drug Church
So
is gonna be
Drug
Migos
Church is
numbers.
Migos.
exactly,
So yeah.
exactly. So those streams, well, they're not crazy. You're right that they're crazy for like.
That's really, I mean, you know,
No, impressive.
They were
really
good-
impressive.
They were
More,
good for us.
moral of the story: Pat is the new Slim Shady.
Exactly
All
right.
I mean, he always
Tom,
was.
pick 2.
I get to go again.
You go again.
I'm gonna pick True Love.
True Love.
New record coming out. I feel
New
like
record.
I might hit.
Might hit some new listeners.
True
Got
Love?
that?
We got to talk about that album
Yeah.
artwork, homie.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you haven't seen it.
You might take them off the
Oh.
board if you saw the album artwork.
Yeah, hold on.
Really?
I'm pulling it up
Have
right
they
now.
went from like the AN to?
No, it's like
Um,
post AN, but taking the. It reminds me of like Red Roses for a Blue Lady. It's like
Hold on.
wow. Okay.
it-
Is that the second time they've come up on the
Yep,
record?
yep,
Jesus
yep, yep.
Christ. I'm pulling it up for Tom right now.
Are we doing
Remember
like a
the
live-
game that we did with Ivy where we
Yes.
described the face? Pat,
I am
watch
very
his face.
demonstrative. I got told by my boss that my face is too demonstrative. So.
okay.
Whoa, does that sound right now? I got that. I got told that once, and it was told like, "Hey, you,
It
you
wasn't
say too
good.
much. Yeah, it's not good.
It was-
All right.
yeah.
Ready, Pat?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh.
No, no.
No, man,
No.
it's not what they're going
sour,
for.
Sour,
man.
a bitter beer face.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not.
man.
I mean, I get it, but it's not for them.
Okay,
Although I read their like kind of like promo for it for
Mm-hmm.
the song that they just released, and they're like, "We're going from instead of going from background music to we're down to
To
we're
underground.
underground, we're going from a life less plague to lowest of the low."
Yeah,
By Terror.
I noted that as
you know what?
interesting too.
I love that like.
They're unabashed.
Well, this is the nerd in me. I like that they were that referential. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
I think that's actually
To
pretty
get it
cool.
down to a particular record.
Yes, yeah.
Not
I-
even like
don't get me wrong. That it might not be anything I want to listen to, and who knows if they even make the mark, like if they even hit what they're going for. But I kind of like, for me, a guy that doesn't like when somebody tries
Yeah.
to emulate something. As a point of comparison, though,
Mm-hmm.
like we're going from this to this. Like I say, Drug Church is shooting for our like, what's the DYS fucking ass record? What's the fucking? It's True
rock.
Blood,
How
right?
to? No, that's
That's SSD.
yeah, that's SSD.
DYS is
anything but Brotherhood. It's,
no the second LP. There's a couple tracks on it.
No, there's
actually.
nothing on it.
There
we
is.
can't badmouth it because we.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, actually,
Anyway,
I
this
kinda-
isn't even our field day. I always say, let's just
I
go with
love
how we
Field Day.
rock. Let's
All
go
right,
with how we
yeah,
rock.
all right. So it's okay.
But I like that specific, like we're going from this to this.
Totally do too, and actually, that's a band who live does it, and they were one of the ones who's one of the best values on the board that kind of got in there lower than I think they should have been. But I was like, all right, I need some here that are random. So that was a good value pick for you.
For me.
Yes,
True Love.
absolutely,
Thank
absolutely. All right, my pick. I am going.
I'm sweating.
Yeah, we need to get.
This is serious business.
All right,
It
let's
really
go.
is.
Oh crud! I had one in mind. I am gonna go for This one's a selfish pick that I could probably leave off. You know what? Fuck you guys. I'm just gonna take Firewalker.
Okay.
Like them. Think they have a cool energy live, and yeah. I mean, you know what's crazy is that I haven't seen them live yet, but the videos I see are cool, and the singer goes crazy, and I think there's something to that. So
All right. PK.
Oh, it's me already?
Ryan?
yeah,
Yeah.
Man, we're bad.
Wait
at-
a minute.
yeah.
Oh, you're
so-
middle.
I'm middle.
Okay.
You're the lucky Pierre of this.
All right. So,
Fucking sucks.
so I want to go for some. Oh, you know what? You did Concealed Blade. That's your Pittsburgh band. I'm gonna go with my Pittsburgh band, Eternal Sleep.
There you go.
Good call.
I think Eternal Sleep. Listen, on the low, Eternal Sleep is a very good heavy act. Like
Absolutely.
when you see them live, I don't think people really like. I think the Closed Casket record actually. I think it carries. I think you can totally listen to that and get into it and
Yep.
get the idea. But live, heavy music in 2018, there's very few who, in my view, are doing it looking professional. Right? Code
Mhm,
Orange is
mhm.
a rare exception.
Absolutely, sure.
And they look like a fucking metal band on there. They look professional. Eternal Sleep is worth 1/8 of what Code Orange is in the open market, but holds themselves to the same standard
Sure.
of live professionalism. So you're seeing like a band play well, like, and deliver. And it is really, I think they're like such an underrated band that might just not be
Criminally underrated.
for this moment.
So here's my question, because I actually think they're a band who goes over more with younger people than older people, though I think they would appeal
To older people. Yeah.
So how would you sell them to someone, on the older side of things? What would you comp them to? Is there a comp?
I mean, no overt comps to me.
That's
actually.
good.
Yeah.
Which I think is good. But heavy, definitely metal leaning.
Tasteful.
Tasteful. Okay.
Tastefully heavy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good vocalist.
I would say that like so a lot of people if you say 90s victory to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What they think of is kind of an exciting but sloppily played Strife show.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's not this. This is like if it's got that sort of heaviness, right? That that Integ influenced, like later period integrity. You know what? That might be the fucking comparison. Like to die
Oh.
for to
I
die
could
for
hear that.
integrity.
Okay.
Something
Really?
like that. That's
Huh.
what it to me.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
got
I'll take that.
The new record has some singing on it, but not fucking corny. It's like it's slick but hardcore, but not shit. Does that
Mhm.
make sense to anybody?
Yeah, that
else?
does. That works. Okay, good. And your pick two.
Was that not pick two? Or was that pick
That was
one or
pick
pick
one.
two? Oh shit! All right, hold on, everybody. Sorry, I big upped
Yeah,
Eternal Sleep for
it's
way
okay.
too fucking long, and now I'm.
And that Eternal Sleep here, Tom, for you,
Yes.
do you like that LP on Closed Casket?
Yes.
Okay.
I like it
Because
a lot.
I don't think that got out the way
No.
people thought.
Compared to the other records, that
That's supposed to be
Closed Casket-
working, but you still got to talk.
it's just underrated.
Yeah.
In every
and I
respect.
don't
and
know
they worked
why.
hard. They really went at
They
it.
toured.
They
Yeah.
toured and they got they were on like a Code Orange tour. Like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know why it was overlooked, but for some reason it was.
I think it's at that exact moment that it came out. I just don't think it's what kids were clocking for.
Which is weird because
But I
to
feel
me
like they
it feels
might be
like
a-
it clicks the boxes.
but they might be a band 5 years from now. Everyone's shocking that
Exactly.
record.
Exactly.
Oh, that's an interesting look.
That's
I think
how-
that's actually an interesting.
That's how I feel
point.
about Axis. I think Axis, if they weather the storm, I think that they could.
Do you think
be-
they need to go away to come back?
No, I think Axis. I've said it. I think they need to be the unsane of metalcore. You just stay consistent, and you will.
People come around to
you.
you.
will earn it.
Sure.
Eternal Sleep could do the same sort of shit. Anyway, okay. So I'm gonna go. Damn. Do I? I got to see what my totals are. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Oh, that's not fair. Pat has a.
No, he's doing it. I just did mine before. If you want to
Okay.
just take a second to add it up. So one of the things to keep in mind is you're looking at this, and I'm looking at my lineup and going, oh, some of this is middle of the day. I'm going to try to shift this up. I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, do I need some more headliners? I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling good about it. Tom, how you feeling? Pretty good?
I'm feeling pretty good.
What
Okay.
pick are we on? I want to make sure I didn't miss one of my own fucking. Like,
What do you mean?
Like what round are we
I
on?
have
round.
no idea the number. No, that's okay.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned.
It's
I didn't
okay.
write something down. Okay. So okay, I'm gonna go for another value. On the East Coast, I think this would have value. On the West Coast, I think that I have to hope that people are psyched to see it because they don't see it enough. I'm going Jukai.
Oh, nice.
That was one of my
Okay.
picks. Good call.
Are they doing? What do we? So they did.
FYA.
The
well, the new records.
the
What do we got?
2-song.
Oh, right, because they got
release.
something coming out
They got
on
an LP.
Reconsider, right?
Are they
believe
doing an
so.
LP on Reconsider? Is that
How did
what
we
it
not
is?
talk to Scanlon about that when he was on?
I
We
don't
should
know.
have.
We fucked up.
He was yelling about fests.
Yeah.
So
And
behind the scenes
Chain
with
of
Scanlon, you know we love you. He was animated.
very animated. He was great.
The best. He's coming back on. Okay. So I am going to go with.
Wait, no, I go.
No, Pat. Pat just finished his second. Now it's my turn, and then it's to you.
Wasn't he third? Oh, we're going back. All right,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's right. It's okay.
You and I struggle with this format.
It's okay,
you know
guys.
why?
This is your first time at the rodeo. I am going to
You
pick.
know this dude does this like every August with
No, you know
football.
what? I did my first live draft bidding and a couple years back, and it's so good because you're bidding against your friends.
That's
So it's
fun.
like, oh, you're a Giants fan. Oh, you want that dude? I know you want him, and
So
we're
I'm
gonna
just gonna be
fuck with you. Yeah, it's great.
Have you watched the league?
No, I have not.
You would love it
You think
because
so?
it's just like that.
Okay. All right.
People are being dicks.
I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna show a little love for New Jersey, but also a band who I think does really well in California, Nightbirds.
Oh, see,
kind
I
of
don't
the
know
punk
shit
band.
about this.
Okay, so they are on Fat Records, but have
Are they?
Yeah, they
They're
do
like
really
low key,
well.
like one of those bands that
Low
get all the
key,
good shows.
really
Yeah,
big.
yeah.
Like they'll open for Descendants and stuff. Like they get
Because
like,
the dudes from Descendants like them a lot,
Right,
like
right,
their
right.
band. So they
but they're
are.
a punk band that like
They're a punk band.
not on a lot of radars.
They're a punk
And
band with dudes with fucking straight up hardcore chops, who are like, yeah, you know what? We do this sound, but we come at it so aggressive with the rip your head off style. I think they are a nice fit for my festival. Thank you,
Okay.
Tom. Back to backs. First
Backs to
pick.
backs. All right, my first pick, California's own Dead Heat.
Ooh,
that's a
nice
good
pick.
pick. Good
Great value.
Wonderful value.
It's a band who you know what? I'm actually curious. I'm curious to hear what an LP from them will sound like. I hope they get to it.
I think they will.
Yeah, I do too.
And my second pick, I'm going Gouge Away.
Ooh, really good. They got some exciting futures. Like if you're in the gambling department, I'd actually throw a dime on them. I think they got a chance.
Absolutely.
Can somebody give the Gouge Away description?
It's aggressive, not hardcore. Is that fair? Aggressive, not
Hardcore
hardcore.
adjacent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
aggressive, not hardcore.
Interesting sound for sure.
I mean, they
think
did a
people
Toro
should check
Touche.
it out. Yeah. Okay.
So what's that mean? Like,
Like I feel like that fits there.
Oh, it fits perfect.
Yeah.
But-
so
right.
I mean, if you like, it's not as far like
Yeah. no, no.
screamo as that,
Yeah.
but in
All
that
right,
lane.
So that was your first pick?
That was my second pick.
That
I
was
picked
second
Dead
pick.
Heat
That's
and
right.
Gouge
Yeah,
Away.
nice. Okay. So it's on me.
I'm gonna do some math.
Man, all right. So let me think. You know what? I'm gonna convince these dudes to get out west. Magnitude,
magnitude. No shit.
North Carolina. Get out there, you guys. I hope you keep doing it. I hope to see them in the Northeast soon. They got that energy. They got some newness. I think that's cool.
Okay, fitting with the vibe of my fest, I'm going Lifeless.
Oh shit!
That is.
Yeah, you got
a-
that heavy.
That is a hard heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think for the cost, pretty good.
Yeah. What's that cost? What's the price?
That's a 30, which I think is like, if this was an East Coast show,
Yeah.
I'd say that's definitely worth it. West Coast, it's a wild card. I might be overpaying. I don't know.
And I think that they kind of slowed down. I don't know that they're not playing shows, but they've slowed down enough that there might be a little tax there as well, which I built into the game.
So here's where my preferences and good value meet. All else failed. California appearance. You're
Rare.
not going to see it again.
You're flying them in.
I'm flying them in.
25?
25. That's the best value for it.
Well, now, do you know why? Because on the initial list, which might still be there for Tom, I changed it on mine, but All's Failed had 25, but 40 if you're in Philly.
Right.
So yeah, that is good value. Even though you skipped seeing them in Brooklyn like an hour ago.
I didn't fucking know.
Pose dog.
Nobody in Brooklyn called me.
Okay.
Because they didn't know either.
I'm gonna go straight to one of my selfish picks, which is I know you guys aren't picking them, but I'm too anxious. They have to play my fest. Exit Order, one of my favorite bands in hardcore right now.
Really?
Yeah, I really like them. That LP is fucking fantastic. And I feel like for me, it's almost like Dark Secret time. I don't really love watching hardcore live videos. It has to be really good.
Has to be really good.
Has to be
For
really
sure.
good, and I can watch their live videos. So, gotta have them play. So I think we're doing pretty good. Let me count my bands. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we're moving. This is the end of round 14, and we're going to be moving into round 15. You still have your 14th pick, and then you're getting your 15th.
All right, I only have 12. If I'm not, maybe I'm not
What?
writing these down correctly.
Well, whatever. We'll figure
Whatever,
it
it's
out.
fine.
Pat, you can just cut some of this dead time.
Are we going?
I think it's
Yeah, it's up to you, buddy.
It's me.
Yeah, it's you.
What I'm actively doing right now is listening to Gouge Away because I just did them such a disservice.
You did him dirty. Yeah,
Yeah.
Pat has
I did him
Pat has the headphones on,
I
so he's
got
gonna
the-
give a description. Yo, can we play him? Let's play him.
No, hold on. Let's see.
Would it sound terrible?
No,
We just
we
played it,
could
no.
do it, but
Yeah,
okay. So, whose pick is it right now?
It's
it's
Tom?
Tom's.
Okay. For people at home, I hope you're enjoying this. I'm actually really enjoying this in the most like sitting here D&D.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the thing
it's
is that
the
you don't
D&D
realize
vibe.
this. So when people who do, you might have that friend who does fantasy football, and you might go, "What a fucking dork, jock." Yo, no, that's jock, but with a dork with a capital D. This is some like nerdy stuff, especially because when you get into sports stuff, you're looking at stats, talking about these things. It's about as dorky as it gets.
Yeah.
Dorkier than this. Let me just say, this is just a pretend game,
I
and
mean,
you're getting
this
to
is-
think about
this is
music.
fucking dorky.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We could be wargaming right now. This is
No,
like
we're on it.
okay. So
We're
straight-
on track to be able to go get pizza after this, so that's all I care
all right,
about.
yeah.
So straight up, I did Gouge Away dirty. It's like this is screamo.
Cool. Good. All right, Tom, pick.
Rams. Got it. I'm gonna go Defeater.
Oh.
that's
35.
total wild card. Don't know if they're worth shit, but fucking.
I think they might be. I saw them at a random the festival in Asbury. Surf and skate.
Oh yeah.
Kind of killed it.
I mean,
Right.
the thing is that they were a big,
They
big
were a
fucking
big
band for a
fucking.
minute.
They were on Epitaph,
Big band for a minute, and they might still be. What the fuck do I know? But
and I think that there's a band. Not speaking for them, amazing dudes, very good dudes. I think they got done dirty by being on Epitaph. I don't think it did them any service.
no, I think that was a weird situation. They had medical problems that took them out of the game. For a
That's
minute.
right. That's public too.
Yeah, nobody's fault. Medical issues take you out of the game, and with that sort of band, there is a window.
And I think that there was also a rising wave with that crested, and it lined up with that same timeline of the medical issues, and it just was
Exactly.
worst case scenario.
But it's the sort of thing that made such an impression on so many people that I think that it could come back at some point and check all the boxes for someone.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So,
Do I have a
but
second?
right now, not sure what the fuck they're worth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wild card.
My second pick of whatever goddamn round we're in. Angel Dust.
Ooh,
a
they
good
were on my
pick,
board.
A good pick.
They were on my board.
Sorry, Justice, you have to work twice this weekend.
Oh shit, double duty.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You know what? You can probably get them for less.
Yes, you can.
Fly him out once, get
Yeah,
him twice.
exactly.
That's true.
Cheat code. If you're doing a festival and you know dudes are in multiple bands, try to figure that shit out. Okay, my pick. You know, there's a band I am looking for on here that I think has some pretty good value and needs to add something to my fest. Death Threat, Connecticut.
Wow.
SDS.
Brotherhood.
If people want to make trades, feel free. But I think we're feeling solid right now.
Okay. So, I'm getting a very potentially undervalued piece. Crime Watch at 20.
I think that's great value.
I think that's a really good value. Okay, so listen. I honestly don't know. That world moves pretty fast. They could be past their expiration date, possibly.
New LP, new 12-inch coming out and locking out soon. So
Okay,
new record,
all right,
nice
all
nice
right, all
help.
right, that-
So
yeah,
for your
yeah,
fest
no,
coming this
that's
summer,
good,
pretty
that's
good.
Here's a question, big question. We should have asked Morgado when he was on. Locking out mean anything in 2018?
Yes.
Okay, all right, fuck 'em. They're on the fest.
Yeah,
They're on the
and
fest.
I think we talked about doing a deep dive because me and Morgado had front row tickets on all that shit. We will. Super cool that Greg's still passionate about stuff. To a lot of people, the locking out thing is about that logo. more so than anything else. And that's cool because motherfucker made that logo, and that's cool. But there's a lot more going on there. So, anyways, yeah, Crime Watch. That's your first of your 2 picks.
Yeah, I think that that's a nice counterbalance to things like No Zodiac, except like
Yeah, it's
balancing-
really nice. You got to think
balancing
about that
this
stuff.
out. And from there, I'm gonna go. You know what? We're gonna stay in that lane and get a $5 piece
Oh shit.
with Glory.
Oh, okay.
So
Good pick.
I don't think Glory is necessarily worth shit, except as like an added value, give the vibe off, make it feel good. Like this is fun. I'm with it.
Let me go into Fest Booker dude mode. Bands like that are important, be it that they've hit big or not, but it's something new that people are curious about. So we'll make this their first California show, and you're gonna get eyeballs, at the very least. So that's a nice pick. Have you heard that Glory record, Tom?
I have not.
Fast, like straight ahead-ish vibes. They
Really?
get that comp a lot, but they're pulling on the New York hardcore well. I think it's cool. The knock is that live, but I really like it. I tried to get them to come play Brick, but there was just scheduling shit.
Triple B.
Triple B,
Triple B.
Triple B,
I'll check it out.
12-inch, very cool. All right, my pick, and I'm I don't got anything in this kind of realm yet. I am picking Wild Honey.
Okay.
Personal favorite, really dig them, and they're going to kind of be a little mouthwash in the middle of the day for one of my hardcore extravaganzas. 20 points. I think it's great value. Pat, you played shows with them. They go hard live, right?
Wild Honey?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my favorite. Listen, Wild Honey funny as fuck because they I think they opened for us and they straight up acted like they were doing us a favor and like we weren't shit.
I fucking love it.
I loved it so much.
good.
They were, I think
Endearing.
I think they were like actually giving us the gas face, like fuck this motherfucker. And like, I got such a kick out of that. Listen, it's 2018. I've been in a band for fucking a huge chunk of my life. Fucking challenge me. I don't give a fuck. That's
I
fun.
love it, yeah.
You don't need to kiss my ass. You know what I mean? I like it when you're like out for blood. They seemed like they wanted to fucking kill it and embarrass us and like be the band, and I thought that was cool.
That's what it is. Do that. All right, Tom, it is your pick.
Oh boy. All right, I'm going out there on one.
Let's hear it.
I guess depending on the lineup, but if it's the more current lineup, then this I think is a good value pick. Going Youth Today.
Oh shit!
Wow.
We're giving Walter, Sammy, Porcel,
Yes.
Ray.
I might throw like an extra $5, get Richie Birkenhead on second
Oh,
guitar. We'll
shit.
see.
Yeah,
But
man.
I think if you go, that lineup is just.
Can you
it's just
talk?
a thing.
It's trope if I talk about Youth of Today. Can you talk about Youth of Today for a second in a positive way?
Sure. I mean, I think
Because I don't think everybody would think, oh, Tom from Indecision and Most Precious Blood has love for Youth of Today.
I mean, Indecision covered Expectations.
That's rad. That's rad.
I mean, if
Do you cover Expectations when you guys play now or no? Not really.
no, our
Throw
drummers-
that in the next set.
We could do like a set. We could do like a cover set, and you'd be surprised.
No, I don't think I would be because I know where you're at.
Like
but
we
the
covered
crowd,
like Circle Jerks,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Bold, and like
Good shit.
just weird shit, just
Yeah.
for us.
Youth of Today.
I think they're a seminal youth. I mean, the starters of that whole youth crew movement. All their records are great. Some of the best kind of visuals.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone posted the "Can't Close My Eyes" like cover.
Yeah.
Even like the Break Down the Walls cover. There's every cover is so like iconic, and Rick Apple's one of the
Yeah.
best frontmen ever. And I know
Yeah.
he gets a lot of grief now, but him in Youth Today and Early Shelter are just something fucking incredible.
I want to just say, one of the only moments that's happened at a hardcore fest in the last few years that I wasn't there for, that I was like had pangs, really felt the thing about it, was the Youth of Today intro at This Is Hardcore when they played, when it's
They start
Capo.
with "We're back."
No, it's
No?
Capo going, when they say that you don't care, when they say that your heart's not, like he goes in this
Right.
whole thing, and this is a dude who's in his mid to late 40s, maybe even older.
He's
than
got
that.
to be older than that at this point.
But
Yeah, he's 50 plus.
he carries himself like a man who's like much younger.
I mean, that
Good
dude's
for
in
him. He's in
fucking
good
shape.
shape.
He's in way better shape than anybody.
Than
in
anybody in
this
this room multiplied.
Yeah.
but you can feel it, and I think that dude still feels it. I don't think that dude's going home and throwing on fucking Reagan Youth every day, let alone any hardcore record that anybody's talking about. But I think that dude, when he's playing, he really still feels it. So, anyways, good pick.
Great band.
All right, your second pick,
I
right?
got a second pick. I'll get this at some point. I'm gonna go for the the Youth of Today of the '90s.
Earth Crisis.
Motherfucking Earth Crisis.
All right.
Wow.
I was waiting for them to come off the board because I was about to be like, you motherfuckers are making me do a California takeover. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Fuck y'all. Self-explanatory pick there. All right, let me get in here. You know what?
Tell me what you got.
Fuck it.
You're going 3 knee deep.
Gorilla Biscuits.
Oh wow! So you guys are really going for a thing I'm not going for. This is good because
They're gonna have different vibes.
I'm not
That's
in
good.
competition with you guys.
I know what competition means, so
Good. Yeah. I'm trying to book a fest that I want to watch.
I'm trying to
would
book a
literally watch
fest
every
that
band on my fest.
I'm trying to book a fest that is fun as fuck, and Gorilla Biscuits is headline one night and Turnstile's headline the other.
Pretty fun.
That's
pretty
fun.
fun.
That's fun.
I feel like that already happened in England.
Yeah, dude, it's
Yeah.
England, and I love England. Somebody move me there tomorrow, but fuck England.
Wow.
I don't even like
I
New
love
England.
Fuck England.
As me and a friend, while Pat gets ready to make his picks, because I don't think he's fully ready. Make sure you have your second pick ready this time. Tom, start looking
no
now.
chance of
I'm going to tell a story about me and my buddy Alex, who played in Cold World and was also in Frostbite. We've had a long-standing theory that New England is barely a part of America. People might dispute this. Pat Flynn, you probably would, but in
He
reality,
said Boston's beautiful.
sure.
False.
It's, I'm trying to go back to the list.
I won't. Yeah. New England. Why would you break free from a place and New England? No, man. No.
I mean, you got to
The
figure.
colonies.
It's not like those were fucking Renaissance people. They were fucking like, they were just the rednecks that were hardy enough.
The
to
rednecks of
survive.
England.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like, where the
They weren't like the Dutch who settled the more civilized parts of America.
Exactly
really.
right.
Let's talk on that. All right, Patrick, your picks.
I am going with the value picks because I want to make a late play for something kind of big.
Kind of big. That's what I held. I played it.
So I'm going Judiciary.
Ooh,
that we
fuck.
talked
They were on my
about,
pad.
Right. I think a perfect kind of like smarter, thrashier look for my fest.
Really nice look for you.
And Milspec, both 10s who I think
Really good picks.
could be a growing concern by the time that my fest pops off.
I don't know if Judiciary has any records. Milspec has a 7-inch coming out and locking out. Yo, you got a lock fest.
I got a
don't
lock
you?
fest.
All
I
right.
got it on lock.
All right. This one is for the culture enforced from Virginia.
Okay.
Taking them, getting that value. They're a 5, but I expect by the time my fest happens, they're at least a 10.
Oh, for people at home that might find this whole exercise distasteful, fuck you.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
fuck you. It's just
This is fun.
It's an afternoon.
This is fun.
Listen, this is about the quasi-realities of booking a fest. It's not about how we feel. Listen, all of these people in these bands, and I won't even say all of them, but most of them are given a lot to what they do, and they're
Yes.
making art. We're talking about the commerce of a festival. Don't get the two confused like we can't tell the fucking difference,
Right,
'cause
and
we
it's
can.
and it's given us a cool opportunity just to talk
talk
about
about bands.
bands
Yeah,
and
it's just
like
another
bands
fucking
and enjoy
excuse.
shit. Yeah, so all right. Funds aren't running low, guys, but I'm starting to
We're getting close.
I'm feeling
I'm
it.
starting to
I got
feel
about
it. yeah.
$200 left. 200
Shit,
points
dude.
left.
Yeah, 200 points.
Something like that. Thereabout. If I'm
All right,
doing
it's
my
your
math
it's
right.
your pick.
Do I get 2?
You get 2.
Shit. So for my value pick, I'm going Odd Man Out from Seattle.
Ooh,
from
nice
Washington.
pick. Yeah.
Wow.
You ever see them out there?
No.
No, me neither.
Very good.
Okay.
What's your second? What you got?
I'm going Gate Creeper.
Oh, that's a
Ooh,
good pick.
A
That's
pick
good
that we
pick.
talked about before as being a value pick.
Yeah, that's a
somebody
good
somebody
pick.
talk about Gate Creeper for a minute.
It's too metal for me. I don't like it. And that's all I have to add to this.
I like it a lot.
Pretty metal.
Very metal. Played by Corman. Metal,
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Dude's got a foot in both worlds.
Sure. That's who should play. That would be my headliner in both worlds. Dudes from Arizona.
Yep.
They're really blowing up. I think that tour that they just did with Power Trip and was it Power Trip and Exodus, Power Trip and Obituary?
Something like that.
Something like that.
So they're going to
Some big
be
shit.
the opener for about another year.
Then they'll be main support, and then they're gonna
Correct, because they are gaining steam in the metal world.
absolutely
Yes.
really good, like super impressive live. They're like a metal band with the hardcore edge live. I think.
All right.
Super
Good.
impressive.
Next pick.
I picked both. I did
Oh, you did. All right,
Odd Man
good.
Out, and
Good.
I did.
Oh, yeah, and did Gate Creeper. All right, my pick. Got to hit them bins right now. Let me get Illusion. So, New York band, but singer's originally from Orange County, so showing that love. And I really like it. Very groovish. I think to me, it's like early Inside Out without the metal chops. And like if you said, what did Vic do between Inside Out and 108? And so it's super groovy,
Right.
but doesn't have some of that like sharp metal lead stuff. I go Illusion.
Okay, I'm going. Maybe you could help me out with this, Bob. You're more plugged into this world.
Mhm.
Minus. That's a California act that was on a lot of lips and then not. Is there a reason for that?
Activity. They just don't play that often.
Okay,
But
so
when they
maybe
do,
with
they got
something
that heavy.
California?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're dudes. The singer also sings in that band Fell to Low, but this is his mosh band. I think it might include some members or former members or however you want to put that of Violation.
Okay.
So they definitely have that minute and solid pick.
Okay, so that's pick one, and pick two is 3 Knee Deep,
Yeah.
which is so ridiculous that it belongs on my festival, and also potentially a draw in a strange way. I think like that is such an oddity for California that people will come.
Can we say that that's almost reached like not meme but like viral levels?
Oh yeah. I would say it's right there.
And there's really nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. No,
No,
that's a
it's
good
cool.
thing. All right, my pick. I am going to go. Oh, let me show some love to South Florida and pick Subliminal Control.
Wow.
Band who I've been told they're described as like a local secret, kind of on the more melodic side of things, but I really dug it in a way that I haven't heard other stuff that I like in that realm in a long time, and I'd like to see them do some stuff, and this is my my effort to prompt them into touring more. So
What you got, son?
Oh, next.
you're next.
Yo, you graduated law school, a thing that I couldn't attempt to do.
No.
I passed the bar too, mind you.
Like, this is-
Me and Pat are clever, smart, fun dudes. We could not pass the bar if we fucking
Yo,
combined our brains on the
and
sidewalk.
stay straight edge. Everybody I know that went to
Yeah.
law school, straight up Adderall heads.
No,
Like,
I know some. I
I don't know
some
how
good
I
ones.
didn't die. I got to be
Yeah,
honest.
God
with you.
bless.
I did it. I worked full time and I went to law school.
I got to witness it. Anyone who graduates from law school deserves more than a degree.
Thank you.
So.
All right, I'm gonna take a trip up to the Hudson Valley.
oh shit.
Oh, you!
Mind Force, motherfucker.
Damn it! What's the points on that?
I
To have them at 15 or 20?
think it's
15.
15,
Yeah,
big
that's great
pick.
value. Great value. They better get out to California soon. They deserve it.
I'm surprised they're not on Sound and Fury.
Me too, actually.
Are
They
they
should
not?
be. I don't know. They should be. Let's make that happen. Riley, get cracking.
I get a second
two.
pick. I still won't get the shit down, man.
It's okay.
That's crazy.
This is. I know. I just.
okay.
It's just my mind doesn't work this way. Where was he? Oh fuck! I had another one that I wanted. Hold on.
That's the beauty of this is that you get stuff you want. You might lose one you didn't. These are draft prospects.
What- oh. I mean, the real question is when do you make your move? You know, I mean, how late in the game?
I mean,
do you-
That's
I've,
right.
I've
Yeah,
blown
yeah,
my
yeah.
moves. I'm going back out to California
Yeah.
and picking Harness.
Ooh, nice
Okay.
pick. All right.
Harness could be undervalued. I don't know. I feel like there was a little rumbling, and then
Uh-huh.
it went quiet because they like what broke up, fake broke up.
They broke up.
Broke
I think
up.
one of the dudes moved out here,
Okay, but they're
And,
back together.
and they're back
from what-
together
yeah.
doing
yeah.
some stuff. Yeah.
and people were stoked on it.
Yeah,
So-
I think so too. All right. My pick. I got a couple more that I'm holding on. I am going to pick.
Now I'm just gonna try to pick yours just to like.
You
fuck with
fucking.
you.
All right. Well, then I can't hold Crust 15. I
Of
just gotta do
course.
it.
That's
It's
a
my
friend
homie.
move right there.
It's not even a friend move. That band, they have a new 12-inch coming out later this year. If Body ever finishes it, it's called Sex Noises.
Okay.
Sex noises.
Okay. Provocative. I
Showing
like it.
people how we live.
I like it. I'm going for my last round, I think, before I make possibly a move of value acts with Queensway, who are perfect for my fucking
Yeah, they are.
festival.
They're a nice pick for you.
So for people that don't know, Queensway is heavy and groovy. I don't know if they know how groovy they are. The drummer of Self Defense, who is not a hardcore dude on any level, watched it with me and said, "Oh, I can get into this. It reminds me of like the goon groove metal that they used to listen to on the side of the mountain that I grew up on. You know what I mean? Like it's it's that sort of shit. Like, and it's got bounce, so
Yeah,
I
it
liked
does.
it. And I'm going for a wild card. I didn't know this. Is this a Florida band? Is Unified Right a Florida band?
Yes,
It's
they
not.
are.
No.
Ooh, yes, they are.
No.
I didn't
Very
know that.
much.
I thought
Yep.
they're a Philadelphia band.
Unified
definitely
Right.
not
They're from
Philly.
Florida.
Really?
Yes, sir.
What band am I thinking of?
Blacklisted.
No. Unified Right. You are thinking of
What's the
from Dana.
oh no, I was thinking of what's
Are you thinking of United Youth?
that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, maybe.
That's some. Yeah, that's
Is
some
that-
bullshit. That's. Huh?
Who was the title fight? Like
Oh, Ned's band was Disengage. Very good band.
I thought they were in
And United Youth was Unlocking Out / Back to Back.
Yeah, well,
around the same
wait,
time?
Unified
So-
Right is the one that released a record this year.
Yeah,
like, if I
yeah,
can't
if-
listen
yeah,
to
that
Unified
record's
right in heaven,
fucking-
send me to hell
Okay.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Weird thing, everybody. I was like, I listened to it. I told our booking agent, like, hey, you know, if we need an opener for this thing, and he's like, too hardcore, but it's really solid. I like.
Yeah, it's
I
really
like-
good.
But everybody that told me to listen to it told me to listen to it with the lyrics in front of me, and I haven't done that. So I don't. Maybe I'm missing something. To me, it just sounds like solid hardcore. So they're getting on the fucking thing.
Yeah, really good band.
Those are my two picks. We're good.
All right, very good. I am going to go. Yo, you know what? This shows when you're doing an activity like this, places that have a lot going on. I'm picking up Deflect, also from Florida.
Okay.
Also on 86 Records, the label is doing the Day by Day 12-inch this year. Really, like, has more of an 80s hardcore vibe to me, like more Negative Approach in it,
okay.
and but still real gnarly and dirty. I fucking really like it.
All right.
Getting that value. Tom, your two picks.
2 picks. Thank you for prefacing my.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do I get 2
Trying,
now?
homies.
necessary.
I'm trying.
I don't know if this band has been picked. Can I throw it out there?
Yeah,
You
of
can-
course.
Did you pick Enforced?
Yes, I did.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to keep the Cali heavy vibe. Vamachara.
Ooh,
Oh,
nice
good
pick.
Oh,
At
that would have been
15.
perfect for my fest.
Yeah, he stole him off your fest. Oh shit! Actually, I just came with some heat.
I just came. All right, that's good.
And pick 2.
I was gonna make a joke pick and say it was gonna be Most Precious Blood with me, so my flight will get paid for. But
No, you're moving out to California for this one.
yeah, I'm relocating to the desert. I'm
Oh,
gonna
that'd
be
be great.
leathery. I'm going to go.
What you got? Heavy, not heavy, cheap, not cheap.
I
What
know
you doing?
it's tough.
I know it is tough.
This is really tough.
where the nitty gets gritty, and this is part of the exercise. Is if you're actually, and I think we're finding certain flow and rhythm to our fests individually, but if you're actually doing and booking a fest, you think about this stuff the whole time. I guarantee you, there's dudes like Bob who does FYA Fest, and he's sitting there thinking about bands for no real reason right now, even though his fest is 8 months out. So yeah.
Yo, getting the balance is a real fucking thing.
Really
tough.
hard. I'm going mortality rate.
Nice.
Okay, that's
good
strong.
pick. Saw them live maybe 2 years ago in Pennsylvania and was super impressed with them. Like the feeling, and it's something I haven't had for a while, where I saw them play and was like, oh shit, I should go buy their record. And then I'm walking over, I'm like, oh, I don't have any money. Oh,
credit
good
cards,
feeling. Yeah, no, I know. All right.
What you got, Bob?
All right, my pick is going to be because I wanted to. I realized I'm a little light on California. So I'm going to throw. Where were they? I'm gonna take a little San Diego and go Misery.
Oh, I was on my list.
Very good band. One of my favorites. I like the LP a lot, but the 7-inch, the EP before that, really grabbed me. And,
Is Dark Turnstile the way to describe that?
It smells a little gamey.
dark Turnstile with
It smells in here,
with
yeah.
the
It smells a little
riffage.
gamey right now.
What's that? Dark Turnstile with what?
With riffage.
Okay.
You know, and not to say that Turnstile doesn't, but like
Turnstile's
these
got some
dudes,
riffage.
these dudes really go riff wild.
All right. I'm making my move. My fest, I'm going to fuck my budget. My fest needs a strong upper middle class, and that's Harm's Way.
Oh yeah, I think they're
Look
actually.
at 'em.
I think they're
Underrated.
actually a value
Undervalued.
pick.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely a value.
I don't even know. I don't think they're too far under, but I think at their rate, at their points, that's a good pick.
Yep. And to then try to make sense of my budget, I'm going to go into the more value pick sort of world, and let's see, maybe go with. Oh, you know what? Oh, did you say Rashomon broke up?
No, they are not broken up. They're
Okay,
playing
then
shows
I'm
soon. You're
taking them because I listened to that demo. Thought it was strong.
Really cool. I'd love to see them come up. I think they've really only played DC, Maryland. I think they might have come up and played Philly, but I did not see them. I'd like to see them.
For a style that doesn't, it takes a lot to grab me. I thought it was pretty fucking good. So all right, we're getting Rashomon for 5, Harm's Way for 40, and feeling good about both.
All right, let me see. I'm looking at my budget. Okay, where I'm at. Okay.
I think the odor is me, if I'm going to be honest.
It smells like butt toots a little bit.
It's.
I mean, you might afford it. I mean, it's
No,
fine.
it's not the. It's my armpits or like
Yeah,
something else
something
right
like
now.
that. All right, you know what? I liked what Pat said. He wanted that strong upper middle class.
There's a band still on the board that I.
There's a lot of really good bands,
But I'm
and that's
shocked
what you
that
feel.
you didn't pick.
Yeah, there's a band that's on the board that we might get a phone call. Why didn't you pick my fucking band?
Oh, weird.
Which one is that?
All right, go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm taking career suicide at 40.
Okay, here's a question. Outside of what, Toronto?
Uh-huh.
Worth anything?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Who fucking clocks for this band? I don't fucking. What is this?
More than anything, they're a band who has a live energy that's crazy, and it's weird because I definitely am like, oh, they've been a band for a while, whatever. You know, their energy live still is kind of off the charts, and seeing them in California, I want to put them in front of people who've seen them and people who haven't, and watch the place explode.
All right, not mad at it.
It is now your turn, Tom. 2 picks.
Yeah, I get 2. All right.
Like Panera Bread.
I have a good Panera Bread story. All right, so my first pick, I'm going value. I saw these fellas in Seattle. I think it was Seattle. And I was really impressed. Step for Change.
Oh, good
Oh,
pick.
yeah,
I was
okay.
actually looking at them.
Don't love the name.
Nah,
Feel like it sounds like they,
bad name.
bad name.
Not even mad at it. Whatever.
No. And for my big baller pick,
Oh.
I'm going Nails.
Okay.
Oh, nice pick.
Nails was hanging on the board for entirely too long, but not because Nails isn't hot, but because I think that they kind of skew a fest. Does that make sense? I think that like if you put
They
them on
changed the vibe.
Exactly. If you put them on the wrong fest, I feel like it can overtake the energy and be like a thing that, like for my fest, I debated it because Nails is undeniably fucking hard.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I thought that it just might take me in a direction that I don't know if it fits with the rest of my shit.
I think that, especially because we're considering location, our fests are in California. On an East Coast hardcore fest, you know, they played United Blood a couple years ago, and they were the sore thumb. Even though they fucking leveled the place, they were still brutal. The sound was crazy. It didn't hit the vibe that year on that fest. And, 2 years from now, it might totally hit the vibe. But in California, they're pulling in a crowd. I think that's a really solid pick.
Yeah, I mean, they could,
They're bringing in people who might not come otherwise, which
And
is
they're a
fucking
headliner.
awesome.
Yeah, see,
Yes,
that's-
they are.
And in and of itself. Like,
Yeah.
there's
You
no-
got a
yeah,
headliner
yeah.
level right there. And, like, it was more than Career Suicide in points, but, like, I can't put Career Suicide at the top or second from the top, and you definitely can do that with Nails.
Oh,
Okay,
for sure.
my pick. All right.
You could make Nails a headliner on plenty fests, and it would make
Goddamn.
total sense.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. So, I need to be conscious of my budget here because we're starting to come to the end. I am gonna go. Let me pick. I'm gonna go Berthold City.
Weird.
Yeah, you know what?
Fucking weird.
California band.
What are you hoping that the boyfriends and girlfriends come? Who are you hoping for?
I mean, they're straight. You know,
So it's Andrew from Strife, Dennis from Internal Affairs, a few other bands. No, you got to show local love,
Listen,
man.
respect across
Local
the,
love.
Respect across the board for everything these dudes have done. I listened to a track from this project, from this band,
Mhm.
and thought it was totally good at what it was and all that. But I'm just saying, like, is that too old? What were they worth?
5.
Oh, for 5, totally good. Early day, California.
And I
vibe.
looked at my lineup and I realized I only have like 2 or 3 bands from California.
Okay, nah,
so I need
you gotta balance.
to get it.
There's no knock against them, by the way. It just is what it is.
All right. Pat, your 2 picks.
My 2 picks are Ingrown, which I
Ooh,
keep
nice pick.
saying is from the Northwest, but I don't actually know if that's true.
that sounds about right.
And has Gag been selected?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Still on the board.
So after this, I'm done with smart shit. It's the
Straight egg.
the punky hey leather jacket bullshit you got your time in the sun, and from here on out, I'm going with guys that don't wear shirts and women that mosh in their bras, and that's it.
Okay, so you got Gag. All right.
Are we gonna go past our spending limit? Because I feel like I might.
No.
Unless I'm then I'm out.
You're
You're
done. Are you
out?
done?
I'm like pretty close to being
Holy
done.
shit.
All right, you can know what? Here's the deal. If you are done, you can
What's the
either
limit?
you can it's 750.
I feel like I think I'm at like.
All right,
720.
let's do a quick do some calculating, guys. Actually here you have
Can we do a drop?
Yeah, do a drop. Well,
I'll drop a pick. I'm gonna drop somebody from my list.
Okay.
drop.
I'm dropping the Adolescents.
Oh yeah.
That's a good pick.
45.
That's
drop.
good. You drop them. Okay. You get 1 drop. We'll allow 1
Okay.
drop once
Okay.
you're in here.
So that brings
you
me down to
drop
685. So I have 65 points left.
Okay.
For one of my picks. How many more rounds do we have, by the way?
Until
Only
we
a
run out
few
of
more.
money
We're getting
or,
close. We're getting close.
I'm at 26 bands total.
Okay.
Does that seem right for everybody?
Yeah.
We're all counting everybody.
Yeah,
You
it
see this.
should
It's
be
kind of embarrassing.
it should be 25 or 26.
Okay.
23, but I don't really know.
But you're getting you should be at 25.
So I'll be
but
at
you'll
25
be
with
at 25
these
when you're
two.
done, but that's fine. It all works out in the end.
All right. For my first big money pick, I'm going to the TO zone. Take offense.
Oh, good pick.
Okay. All right. Good pick.
Stalwarts.
Thought about it.
And then
Much better value than the Adolescents, especially given the rest of your
For
lineup.
fucking
Absolutely.
sure.
That's no knock against the Adolescents. I fucking love
Listen,
that band.
very little is a knock this
Yeah.
episode. Even when I'm shitting on these fucking leather jacket bands and shit like this, it's
Mhm.
like, yo, if it gets people to my fucking fest,
That's right.
We can line up the fucking leather jackets out the door. Although you should really be into pleather. It's 2018.
Yeah, come
Yeah,
on.
no more
man.
leather.
Let's
Yeah,
have fun.
shut it down.
Animals?
Shut
I mean,
it
come
down.
on.
And for my
Right.
second pick, I'm going higher power.
Oh, good pick. UK.
You know what? Okay. How much of a bias do we have against UK bands in the U.S.?
I think it's gone away a bit.
Yeah,
It's starting
I
to go
think
away,
so.
but I feel like
it's still
most
strong.
Euro
I don't know.
bands, it's not reciprocated. Low level
No, it shouldn't
American
be.
band go to Europe do well. You
There-
have to be. I mean,
there should be more love in a just you traveled here from a long way. That doesn't mean that whether it's fucking Calgary, it's fucking Cambodia, or it's Cambridge. Whatever your distance you traveled, We should show more love to that. And I think the UK has actually had a crazy good hardcore scene, really diverse.
Right, but I
over
think
the
like
past few
bands
years.
like the Flex and Violent
Reaction,
and stuff,
yep.
I think they're like kind of.
I think bands like
cracking that, yeah.
bands from Belgium, Justice, Rise and Fall, etc. They kind of cracked through and really
They
put
were
in the
really
work.
The first ones, honestly.
Who came over and were like,
Kickback.
and fuck yeah, like we're like, yo, we think Monkey Fellow is funny because it's funny. It's
Funny.
straight up is.
It's funny.
But that joke is not funny really that much. It is a funny thing, but those dudes had to work through that and had to kind of crack through like, yeah, oh, you think we talk funny? I speak 7 languages. How
Oh.
many do you speak? Dumb American?
Listen,
like, you know.
I had a kid straight up call me fucking like he was like, "Listen, I like your band, but how can you understand the world when you do not speak more than one language?" And I was like, "Listen, man, because I'm a fucking cave bean
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
United States."
Listen,
Make a good
homie,
point. What you
I
want?
don't really understand the world. I understand the Marvel universe,
Right.
bro.
I mean, straight up, you're kind of lucky I'm not phoning this from jail. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
All
Like,
right.
like, what do you want?
All right, so now it's my pick. I am certainly in the let me get some value here. I'm going to pick Fell to Low.
Okay.
So they're going to go right from
I
that
had my
Minus.
eye on
side.
that one.
Yeah, and members of Minus and Nails, actually. So there you go.
You know what I was looking for on here, which I guess they didn't play at Fest.
That's right.
The Beautiful Ones.
Oh, that's an interesting thing. Yeah, they did not.
That's weird.
You want them? I'll give them to you for 20.
They can be on the board for 20. What do you think?
Well, I'm not picking. Right
Okay,
now,
you're not
so-
picking.
Oh,
It's
that's,
my
okay.
pick.
They're on the board for 20 right now. So
I mean, maybe I don't know why.
talk
they,
on the beautiful ones. I don't know. I just don't think they showed up on one of these fests since 2015.
I guess not.
They broke up for a minute, but then they got back together.
Okay.
They should have played one of the Sound and Furies,
I'm
though.
shocked that they haven't. I mean, they're
Oh,
like
you know what? They might have been on like a pre-show and just missed the list. So they're on the board for 20.
on the board. I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
out of
So Pat's
curiosity.
picking, but I think he needs a minute. Talk on the beautiful ones for a minute. Can you?
I mean, I can enough, but not. I'm not
Yeah,
as
just-
informed. I mean,
Good band. Do you like them?
I like
What
the
do they
band.
sound- Yeah. Yeah.
I like the band. The first thing that struck me about them was the cover. They have that cover with their name, like kind of like on a background with the microphone in front of it. And that
Oh,
was
yeah,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
thing that kind of like struck
Oh, it looks
me.
like it could be like a weird major indie record.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so here's the
Jaded
question.
Love,
I-
I think it's
that
called.
is that a Bridge 9 record?
No,
I don't know. I don't
No?
think so.
no, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, because I think. Okay, so like let's just be frank about Bridge 9 in 2018. Quiet. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, stop. Crickets.
crickets. Okay, so fart noise, crickets, whatever. Bridge 9, which was such a fucking important thing for so many years,
Straight up important.
is currently not shit. And that, listen, for the people that work at Bridge 9 that listen to this, it doesn't mean I think you're not shit. It just means that maybe the focus is elsewhere. You know what I mean? Maybe, I don't know what it is. It's also, not for nothing, we got to be honest about Bridge 9 and Death Wish, titans of hardcore for the period that they were like really hot
Going on
in
20
hardcore,
years, yeah.
right?
Yep.
But both have pivoted into other worlds because that's what the individual interests of the people in charge of those labels is.
Right.
You know,
Sure.
that's the way life goes. And it is right now. Death Wish is in a rebuilding period, but Bridge 9 is in a coma. You know what I mean? And again, it's not really a diss. I'm
No.
on the outside. I my only insiders at Bridge 9 are no longer there. I don't know. You know what I mean? But like,
I think you'd be shocked, like they put out like Iron Sheik. I'm sure Iron Sheik.
who Bridge 9 did?
Yeah, the last 2 records have been on. Bridge
No,
9.
that was Side One Dummy, wasn't it?
I thought they were, the last
They did
one,
an Iron Sheik record.
They did.
at
I
least
don't know
one.
if it was big, yeah.
Okay, because Iron Sheik,
Low key, real big.
low key can sell a record.
Mhm.
Yes.
Can't play a dynamic show to save their motherfucking lives, but you know, people love the music.
Yeah.
It's catchy as fuck.
People will buy that fucking record.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, listen. If you're at Bridge 9, and of course, no disrespect to Chris Wren or anybody else there. If you're at Bridge 9,
Major respect to Chris.
yeah, exactly. Drop us a line and let us know what the fuck you're doing. Because
What do you got going on? We'd love to talk on it.
yeah, it's confusing, to be frank. But then again, you know, we talked about Dom shuttering. People have focuses in their life, and sometimes that's 100% this, and sometimes it's 50% this, and you know, so
So we're gonna talk on the labels for a full episode coming soon, so
Oh,
you guys
fuck.
can nerd out on that. All right, Pat, it's your picks. I'm
Red
pretty sure.
Death.
Red Death.
25 might be overpaying this late in the game, but I feel like if we put them and Judiciary on opposite days to represent sort of that Texas-ish sound, that thrash sound, that I think that's a nice look. I'm happy with that. And then I know I said that I'm not going with anything remotely smart, but
You're a lying-ass liar.
yeah, I might be a liar. Okay, real quick. Does anybody know that band Tau Cross?
I know of them. I don't.
Okay, so
Isn't it like somebody from like Amoebix or something?
exactly right.
Oh,
It's the
shit.
Baron from Amoebix, and it is fucking awesome.
Fuck.
It is.
So you're getting a good value pick at 5.
I'm gonna get a great value pick at 5.
Do spiky jackets come out for that?
Not on my fest. This is a complete money loser.
Yeah,
even at
it's
5.
a glamour pick. That's fine.
Even
That's
at
good.
5.
It's good.
But-
It's a good
Glamour
exposure
pick.
pick.
But straight up, their records, I hear they suck fucking live because it's that style. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
oh,
that
yeah,
style's
yeah, yeah.
never good live.
Yeah.
But like, I think that they put out 2 of the best LPs of the last 10 years. I think they're
Tau
fucking
Cross,
Wow.
really?
great.
Wow. All right.
So underrated.
So that's an ignorance value right there. Good
Got it.
job. Okay, my pick. I'm going to take. You know what? I'm going to take Crow Killer, who's from Salt Lake. I don't know what they sound like, but a friend,
Respect.
who I respect, said not only are they cool live, but they're great dudes. And
Cool.
respect to Salt Lake, Crow Killer.
Salt Lake, low key, the weirdest place in the entire United States. Nobody,
100%.
nobody really talks about
Wild.
it. It's from outer
Really
space.
weird.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the lake?
The actual lake.
Yes.
I think we drove. Don't you drive by it to get into it?
Depending on which way, if you're coming
Okay.
north or south. I went to the lake. There's an island in the lake.
Oh shit.
And you can take a bridge out to the island. I'm like, I've seen this fucking island in forever.
Right.
It's not very big. It's small. As you drive out, you're like, oh, what the fuck is this? There are swarms of flies because of the salt in the lake, all this stuff. They're just there. Thousands of these flies.
Ugh.
And you drive over it, and then there's bison on the island.
Oh,
and
oh,
it's
yeah.
pretty
That's
fucking
cool.
neat. Yeah. So, weird place. Salt Lake, one of the weirdest places, not just in the country,
Maybe
in the world.
Yeah, honestly.
It's wild.
Yo, did you know? This is a thing that American history doesn't talk about. Did you know there was a state of Deseret?
Yes.
Okay.
So fucking interesting.
So for 2
We're going hardcore history right
for
now.
2 years, there was a state that was a like a what would you call it? Like it was trying to be a state.
Yes.
And it was the Mormon warlord fucking.
It's where some of the honey,
yes,
the
it's-
bee
the
imagery
bee,
comes
the bee
from.
that represents California is from. Oh, is it?
It's
is it not
Utah.
Cal-
It's
oh,
Utah.
my
Yeah,
bad. Is
They're a bear.
it is yeah, you're right. There's
Yeah,
a bear.
yeah.
Is
It's from this
is
dessert.
from
yeah.
this. They tried to be they tried to be a theodemocracy, which
Right.
what actually that meant in like 1840 or whatever
Yes.
the fuck it was actually just like honestly like a warlord driven fiefdom. It's fucking insane.
To think that this.
Like people on the East Coast, I mean, Mormons know Mormon history, but people on the East Coast don't know a
Don't know
fucking
shit.
thing about it. So crazy. Like it was bigger. Okay, so you know how big Utah is.
Big.
Gigantic.
Yes.
This proposed state, which was shaped like a blob, ate up all of Utah, huge part of Nevada, and
Yes.
huge part of California. It would have been the biggest state by far.
Yes.
And
Wow.
the Mormons fucking went in there, extra exterminated Indian tribes. You know what I mean? We're
Yes,
like,
sure.
And then fucking like we're like, hey, we want to be the first democracy state in the Union, and the Union was like, you are fucking insane.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, we're taking that. But for people
path.
at home that are
What's it called?
the state of Deseret,
How do you spell that?
like desert, but with the e in the wrong place. I want to
Yeah.
say
It'll be in the notes.
it'll be in the notes.
Yeah, I want to do some.
Utterly
Some Googling.
fascinating.
Yes.
Interesting.
All right. Your picks, Tom.
2. I got 2. For my first pick, I'm going DOM. Division of
you
Mind.
know
Nice.
what? I was on my list.
Very good value pick.
And my second pick, band that I saw at FYA last year and was blown away by their reaction, Bind.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
Good pick.
That's one I don't know much about. Is
Been
that
around for a
Midwest?
minute.
Is that
No,
Midwest
Florida.
shit?
Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Florida.
Shit. Okay.
I think further north, not South Florida, not Central. I think they're not Jacksonville, but kind of up that
Like
way.
maybe Tallahassee. I don't really know.
I don't think but they're up there.
Tampa, they killed it.
And have been doing really well. Get your counts on, Tom. I think you're going to be starting to get to the I only can pick 1 point bands.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, all right, all right.
I might lie. And
So if
cheat
we
a
want
little
to,
bit.
oh yeah, see this motherfucker going over value
I'm a lawyer,
budgets. I know he knows that he's just taking all this
There are
out.
so many bands I didn't pick on here.
I know there really are. Do we want to bonus ourselves out, or are we trying to stick
No.
close to
What's our upper limit?
750?
Oh, I'm not even. I don't think I'm I haven't hit 700 yet. I'm.
Me neither, but
Okay.
I'm close. I got 95 left, so you gotta be judicious. I'm at 95, and I have 26 bands according to this. All right, let me go here. I am going to pick. Man, there's a lot off the board.
So I have a thing. I'm gonna play your game and get these 1 point bands, etc. If I was booking a fest, I would not. And I know that that's unpopular because that's sometimes how those bands get put on and they get a look and everything. But for my tastes and the fest that I would run, I would honestly,
just clear out.
I would just say no. I don't need that.
Well, the thing is, and that's the hard part, is that this misrepresents the 1 point bands. The 1 point bands should be those real fresh looks, like. Downfall is a 5 point band because I think they actually have some name recognition at this point. But like it's that new, and so you can't do the new from 2 years ago. And also our 1 point bands were just things that I wasn't personally that familiar with. So
Right.
there's actually no real lie there.
Right.
But getting the 5 point bands, that's where you get that in. You know what? I actually saw one that I'm looking for that wasn't 5. Maybe it was 10. Let's see here.
Whose pick is it? Is your pick?
It's
right
my
now?
pick right now. And I am going to take.
Do I need to bust out more history? While you
No,
go
we
ahead?
can. No, we'll go for it right now. I'm going to take. You took Rashomon. I am going to take. Shit. No Time from Pennsylvania.
I don't know.
Another Pittsburgh kind of hardcore, but more on that street punk side.
No shit.
Yeah, good band.
Does anybody remember there's a Buffalo band with a no
time left.
no time left?
Yep.
Was that right? That
Yep.
actually kind of shredded.
It was really good
That
for
was
that
good,
time period,
yeah.
and it got looked over. It was the dude, I believe it was Nick, Third Party. If I got his name wrong, please apologies. I've been ordering your records since the late '90s, but he did Third Party Records, which did a bunch of stuff out of Buffalo, which I think the Fast Break 7-inch was their biggest thing.
What was the band?
Plagued with Rage.
Rage. I
All right.
love that
Okay.
record.
All right, let me go deep. Plagued with Rage. You remember the cover? Can you describe it?
It was like black and white. I feel like there was someone in a hoodie, like a kid in a hoodie, but
Yeah.
it was a photo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just remember being stoked on like that dude's like crazy high pitched voice.
Okay, so I don't like the record very much, but Plagued with Rage was a band from Buffalo. The cover photo, this is some real deep cut shit, so you can get on that nerd level. The cover photo is a picture of a guy named Dan Servon, who's from the Jersey Shore. He played drums in the band Over the Line, who had a kind of notorious for the time, mid-90s youth crew-ish demo. Dan is from Neptune, New Jersey.
Hey,
And the
There you go.
picture is a kid in a hoodie walking down train tracks.
Yep.
Looking like a monk or a Klans member.
Or he
that's
might be
mad
peeing.
confused.
Right in front of graffiti on a brick wall that says "We're not alone." It's a bunch of straight edge graffiti. That is a wall on the New Jersey Transit North Jersey Coastline train in Manasquan, New Jersey.
oh wow.
It was the graffiti was up for from the early-ish mid '90s till probably about 8 or 9 years ago, and it was fucking awesome. There was a bunch of straight edge shit, a bunch of underdog shit. It was just really cool. A mix of like full huge sprays that just stayed up there forever. I worked at the liquor store that was probably 100 yards from there.
Wow.
Pretty cool. And yeah, the dude who took the picture is this guy Don Bonaco, Donnie Steadfast. Both Dan and Don are on the back cover of the Floor Punch 7-inch. So
Okay.
deep cuts.
These are deep cuts.
So there we
Plagued
go.
with Rage.
No time left. You guys want to go on the journey? We can. But I picked No Time, Pittsburgh.
okay, I'm going Year of the Knife. Might be overpaying, but they need to be on my fest.
Good band. Curious to see what their next record sounds like with the new vocalist. I think they got
New
a lot of.
vocalist
Oh
is
my
a
god!
huge step up. I think that if they kind of don't overextend, rein in the heavy parts, and own those, I think that they could be the Jesus piece of the next year. You know what I mean?
I think they could be better than Jesus Piece.
no shit.
And
All right.
and
Good
a
for
different
you.
vibe. Tyler, who sings in Year of the Knife now, formerly just played drums for them and is a fantastic drummer. He sang in a band called Uzi Kids, who very I Hate You vibe and really cool. He
Yo,
was a
what
crazy
is-
singer.
What is up with, like, that was a straight edge band, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so what is up, like, I Hate You to Agitator to Uzi Kids? What is up with people always falling for the gag? Like, if Tom and I did, like, our Path of Resistance band tomorrow and it was aggressively straight edge, people would get, they'd
So
still
mad.
get turned.
So mad.
It's so weird that you get fucking pressed about this.
Right.
It's so
Agitated
weird.
did that benefit show, said something about
What did they say?
Lil Peep,
oh
Lil
yeah.
Pump, Little
They said
whatever.
about Lil Peep.
Why do you keep falling for the
because
gag?
they have a song
No.
called like Natural Selection or something.
So
that's
it was
like-
the reason was, and it's when the gag feels too close to home, and I think that there's a lot of people in hardcore, broadly speaking, who really resonated with Lil Peep. I didn't personally. I
Yeah, I
don't.
mean,
You know,
it's
that's
not
fine.
meant for
Right? Yeah,
us.
I'm not mad at it, but felt like coming out and saying that was like just real sharp at the time, and I think. Now, on the whole, you're totally right. People fall for the gag all the time.
Every time.
Right.
It's, I mean, it makes it fun. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong.
I think
we
that band
we should definitely
Agitator-
do it. Fuck it. But
I mean, remember that band Embrace Today?
Yeah.
they would. Oh,
They were the kings of that shit.
Yo.
They'd be like, my mother died of cancer, but she was a smoker, so she deserved it.
see,
like,
to
fucked
me-
up,
to me,
terrible, like-
that is a great.
You think those guys were joking?
No,
I don't really know. But
I-
are they straight edge in 2018?
I don't know. That's a
I,
good question.
I don't know. I just track those guys.
Tom's. We're each making Axe to Grind shirts. Tom's for the Tom fans is going to be. Are you still straight edge?
Yeah, and it's going to be actually to Ian Mackay, but it's really anybody.
My second band.
Yeah.
I'm giving it out to Reserving Dirt Naps.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Fucking super.
the fucking
value at
homies.
5.
There you go.
That's a good
the
band.
fucking homies.
Super value.
Does that include my man
Tommy Ski Mask.
Oh, you know what?
Those are 2 hits.
Yeah, I might,
Tommy Ski Mask. You make it up to New York. You're coming on the pod.
yeah, for sure. I'm.
We could take this on the road. We might have to
Yeah,
hit
we might have
Memphis.
it too. Yeah, I'd like to.
So Reserving Dirt Naps
I mean,
made,
all the
made my
barbecue.
fucking fest. I think that's perfect for my fest, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
That's a cool.
That's a
vibe.
cool opener. They're
That's a
gonna
cool vibe.
set it off for you. All right, my pick. So let's see. I'm feeling good about the vibe of my fest. I feel real relevant.
great about
I feel
the
really
vibe
good.
of my fest.
But that's the thing. I think that people, if you actually do this, when you do that lame ass shit where it's like, oh, you should have booked whoever, do this and see how you feel, and then go, oh shit,
need
I
a
wish I had
fucking
booked
nap.
this band. Ah,
yeah,
shit,
it's
I would have.
tiring.
This is really tiring.
Yeah, no. Let's see. I am going to throw a little band here. Dame from Boston. I like
I
them.
was looking at that.
Good value at 5. Hard to get them over the country, and that's another thing that's you got to think about is getting smaller bands across the country. Are they doing a tour? Can you afford to fly them out? I can't afford to fly you out, but I think Dame should play. And they did a demo that a couple years back. Lots of people were talking to me about, and I listened. I was like, "Oh shit!" It was one of the rare times where I felt the praise that was being heaped on something was worthwhile.
Okay,
So, yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Tom, is that you?
Tom, it's you.
Man, I am struggling. This is at the point of the picks I'm looking at right now with my financial situation. I'm literally just going for bands that I've heard of
Okay.
because this is down in the
You're in
not
the
dead
fuzz.
yet.
Yeah,
kind
the
of
stuff
like
that you haven't really heard.
yeah. So I got 2.
Okay.
Awesome. I'm gonna go Initiate for 5,
Nice.
and I'm gonna go going Nosebleed for 5.
Ooh, I think
Oh,
Nosebleeds
okay.
for 5 is a great pick.
Yeah.
If I'd seen that, I would have grabbed that.
You lost it in the 15 pages of Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, and you're not gonna have 15 pages. You're gonna have a nice, clean, maybe 2-page PDF.
See, this is what Bob does for you guys.
This is my
Not
love.
so much for his co-host.
No, not at all. Okay.
I think I might be done.
You think you're done?
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of money, unless you.
How
guys
much?
Want,
Where are you at?
I mean, I'm probably like
You're close.
740.
He's a lawyer, but don't bother him with
750.
simple math.
Well,
That's why I'm not a mathematician.
do the. How many bands are you at though?
Yeah.
Give that a count.
So I'm looking at this list. and I'm feeling pretty good about my things. And it's now just about like, how many do I get out? You know what? I after our discussion on razor bumps, I checked it out a
thought
little
about it. I
bit, and
thought
I'm
about
grabbing
it.
it. I'm grabbing it at 10. I think that's good value. I think they'll by the time this gets around, they'll be done with that turnstile tour, and people are going to be vibing on it. Again, another kind of like palate cleanser for me.
My math may be real fucked up, but I'm at 29, which probably doesn't make sense because I should have an even.
No,
number.
that should be good.
That
I
makes-
just hit 29 as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I've still got a little bit of money, but I'm going to take a cheap one. And as long as we got Year of the Knife out, we're doing the Uzi Kids reunion.
Oh, nice. You got a buck?
for a one.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Good value.
Why not? And then I'm going to
Could have been a contender.
I'm going to counterbalance that. Nope. You know what? I'm going to stay cheap. I'm going to go Resistance Wire.
Ooh.
Totally underrated band. You know what this is?
Yes. Yep.
It's a dude's from Code Orange.
It's
Isn't it?
Yeah,
dudes from
it's-
Code
yeah.
Orange, and
From Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
it's
Great value.
really quite good. Like
I'll
it's
check it
so underrated because it's right now it's in the Code Orange shadow, so it doesn't get to do as much as it would otherwise. But it is actually really fucking good heavy music.
Yeah.
Like clever heavy.
Yeah, I've heard lots of good things about that. People who like that stuff, like if you haven't heard Resistance Wire, you should check it out.
Yeah. Let's say that you like aren't game for the ride that Code Orange is taking you on right now. Resistance Wire could be the thing that you like from that camp very easily. Like let's say that
Right.
Code Orange like might have taken you in a direction that you're just like, you know what, enough of this.
Right.
Like,
You don't like adventures. This
like,
might be for you.
This is hot.
Interesting.
Hot take, I really like Adventures.
I do too. I like
Yeah.
that record a
Yeah,
lot.
you're like an adventurous fan.
It's straight up, very much. Really like those. That Supersonic Home.
That might be right.
That's a great record.
I like it a
straight
lot.
up, great record.
Fun video.
And live, I mean,
never got to
it's
see
the same
them.
people from Code Orange. They
Yeah,
put
so
it
they
on.
know how to
They
play.
did it. All right, my pick. Yo, Banahan, I got you. DC Disorder.
Eh.
Yo, whatever. This is the value of eyeballs who are like, oh shit, they've never played California. They've only played a handful of shows, but it's that dude from DM. I gotta see that. Solid opener, probably on my pre-show.
Okay.
Get that
So-
energy.
Pre-shows now too.
Oh yeah.
You
we're
can lay it
gonna
out.
break
Yeah, we're gonna break it up.
Did anybody pick Distort? Is that a thing that we did?
They have not been picked yet.
I'm gonna go.
Oh wait, Tom, do you want to keep picking? You can pick ones. That's it. Or are you done?
Like one pointers or
Yeah.
one at a time.
You can pick ones. If you've got 740, you could get some fives, or you can get one more
yeah,
10.
I probably have like 750.
Oh
That's really
Jesus!
good.
All right,
All right,
all
you're-
right.
I went
Yeah.
high end, man.
All right,
My
you're out.
fats
It's
are
me
gonna
and
be-
Pat, and now it's no more snake. It's just back and forth.
I'm gonna go Distort.
Okay?
And I'm gonna.
No,
go,
no. It's just back and forth now.
Oh right,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
How about
All
you
right.
just do two at a time?
No, it's back and forth. I'm taking Build and Destroy. Nice value there.
Okay. I'm going Dress Code. Everybody know this one?
Yep.
Texas.
Texas,
Am I right?
Houston, playing the Turnstile rec release.
Oh, is it Houston?
I believe so.
Okay. I thought this was the Austin. I thought this was an Austin band, but it's not really in the vibe of my fest. But it's kind of like, am I wrong or is it like Woke Youth Crew?
I think that's not far off.
Never heard them.
I think it's like Woke
No,
Youth
it's
Crew.
it's dirtier than that. It's like a messier band. You should listen to Dress Code. I'd be curious to hear what you think of
All
them.
right, I thought
don't
it was
think.
Woke Youth Crew, and it's getting
No.
on as like a total wild card. But if it's something different, then whatever. I'm still game.
All right, I believe I have 50 points left, which is great. You went hard on a couple things. I am going to. Ooh. Okay. You know what? Primal Right. Get that Bay Area.
Thought about it.
That LP on Rev is really good.
It's pretty hard.
Yeah,
Thought
and
about it.
I actually think that's one that deserves a listen through, potentially a listening party. But we didn't really like that American Hardcore song, but I think the LP is actually really good.
Okay. Thought about it just because it is heavy, and I actually, I know that we kind of shitted on it, but like, I thought that the groove part, what I
Oh,
called
yeah.
the Biohazard part, was actually like
Yeah,
really
we like
fut.
that.
Absolutely.
You know, it's
It just got that weird
yeah, whatever.
off
Yeah,
time.
whatever.
there.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. What did I just pick? No, I'm not picking Dress Code twice. Instead, we're gonna go. Okay, people at home, what do you think? Do I go something smart? You know what's crazy is that there's not a lot of ignorance at low value, which is crazy because I would
Right.
think that there would be a hell of a lot of fucking ignorance at low value.
But those bands kind of draw.
Yeah, you know what? That might
That's
be the
true.
fucking thing. That might be the fucking thing. Which one was scalped? Which band was scalped? That seems like it would be on
Bay
the
Area.
radar.
Bay Area. Yeah. I think it might have predated some of the. Might have shared members with Primal Right. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think there's some connection there.
Ah, okay. God, Jesus Christ. Whenever I open, not SoundCloud, what's the other one?
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. It has has suggestions
Oh,
at the
yeah.
bottom.
Oh, yeah.
It's been pushing the Bougie Boys on me for fucking 2 years.
Really?
I don't even know. Like,
All right, take them.
it describes it as like snotty punk. That's like the.
That's your That's
fine,
not your
fuck it,
lane.
I'm taking it. I hate
Bougie
that.
Boys. All right. According to my
For 1
math,
point, I'm
let me see
taking it.
this. 30, 40, 55, 65. I have 30 points to the dot left, and I have 32 bands selected, which is a really nice number.
How do you have 32? I've got 35.
Do you really?
Yes.
I don't know how that worked. Maybe maybe my math's bad too, or maybe you guys doubled up and I got skipped. I could have got skipped once, and that's
yeah,
it.
maybe.
I mean, we were
All right.
following your direction.
And well, that's fine. It's late for me, so we're good.
Late for him. He's on California time.
Yeah. Let's see here.
the opposite.
I'm gonna drop because I'm an OG supporter, and I'm a very kind co-host.
Mm.
Taking Self-Defense Family for 30.
Oh, for 30? Do we make sense on your fest? I gotta tell you, we don't make sense.
You
on a lot
fit
of
in.
fucking
No,
fests.
you know what? It's kind of like I believe on my Friday and Saturday I'm gonna have kind of 2 refreshers, and I'm gonna give you a nice slot. So there you
Okay,
go. I'm
alright.
now out of the game.
We are.
And I'm gonna give you the last pick.
Okay.
So make it good.
Okay.
So yeah, time for this pick.
This is down to it.
You got 50.
Pat's the
points
last. This is the Isaiah Thomas Memorial last pick of the draft.
Yeah.
So he's actually got 50 points. We don't know how that happened. I'm
mean, there's
chalking
some-
it up to.
I
I'm
almost-
chalking it up to Albany Public Schools.
There's some value.
I almost had 55, and I had 55. I could make such a power move.
Yeah, you could.
Um,
You're not doing it. You
55?
can't.
I don't have 55.
You have 50, and there's some
could-
interesting spends at 50.
I could drop, but I'm
The-
going to make some interesting spends. So if you went with something like Count Me Out, because you guys didn't choose that, right?
no,
No.
that's out.
I think that would be totally cool on
Mhm.
most California fests, not on mine.
Yes.
I think that skews mine in a way that I don't need. Does that seem
Okay.
fair?
Yeah.
Because even though I have all this lower level, like kind of
Younger
youth
stuff.
crew or fast stuff or whatever, Count Me Out, I think as like essentially what, like a reunion act? Like
Yeah, it's reading.
Yeah.
like I think that fucks me. So I'm not.
Yeah,
Gonna
you're
go
not pulling that on
I'm-
yours.
yeah, exactly. So like
Weird vibe on
There's
yours.
some ignorant on there. Are you going ig or are you going?
Well, he said he's not going smart, but the thing is, Pat loves the ignorant, but he also, deep in his reptile heart, likes like the smart shit. So
Right, but like,
we'll
what are you
see how
looking
he
to close it
falls.
down with. I mean, because you got like,
Yeah.
you got like a biohazard.
You got Cold
I
as
don't have
Life.
enough- I don't have enough
He
for
doesn't have
Biohazard.
enough for Biohazard.
I
You
do-
could get Cold as Life.
You got Cold as Life.
I could do Bitter
Cold
End.
World.
I could do Bitter End if I was speaking to my own tastes because I
Yes.
think Bitter End hyper underrated in 2018.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those
Actually.
are some good fucking records.
They just
yo.
don't play enough. But I think
Well, they
yeah.
pulled back on playing, but still put out a record a couple years ago that
Yeah, I mean
did
they're like
pretty
all
well.
over the states too, right?
Yeah,
That's the
I think-
problem, too,
yep.
I think. Yeah.
So okay, so I could go. I mean, my audience I think is young and not gonna feel Killing Time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's out.
That was what I was looking at, and I almost pulled Murphy's Law, but I was like California
No.
and trying to get young.
No,
Even though they're fun, because
Killing
my
time, you will not
my
get
goal
Komanali on a flight.
Oh, is that right?
He won't.
He
won't fly.
Not that I know. I mean,
I think
Respect.
Killing Time was
I
supposed
like
to play Sound and Fury a few years ago.
I don't think they'll
2010.
travel. I don't
Okay,
think he
anyways,
travels.
yeah,
That's why like Dave Vision sang for them in Europe and stuff.
that's
'cause he won't go.
right. Okay,
No shit. I respect.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
like that.
I mean, you got the Ramallah Blood for Blood.
okay,
You got
so-
Backtrack. There's a lot of stuff.
A
on
negative approach.
Okay, so I saw Backtrack in New York and people got live for it. Do people still get
They
live
still-
for
yep.
Yes,
Backtrack?
absolutely.
And in Cali,
In
yeah.
Cali, fuck yeah.
They do?
Yep.
Okay, all right. I'm not calling you
There's a
live.
lot of stuff here.
Do I go for something that is fake big with my crowd? So like Martyr AD, fake big with my crowd. Does that bring?
I mean,
out
is
anybody?
Martyr AD better value than Disembodied? Is Disembodied on here?
Disembodied's worth 5 less.
Disembodied's actually bigger.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
Really? Because Martyr AD, if I recall,
Martyr AD is fake bigger.
Yeah, but like Disembodied's like legit. People come out. Like
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They might work on your fest actually.
I mean, either one would work on my fest.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, let me. This is its own episode. Is Guns Up worth a motherfucking thing on my fest? Not on any
Not
fest.
on me or Tom's fest. I'm curious on your fest in California in 2018. I'm not sure.
I'm
I
not sure.
know they carried value on Sound and Furies
But that was like what?
2 years ago, even I think.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thinking
They
like
played.
2006
No, yeah,
or
those,
before.
yeah, that was ancient history.
Yeah.
But I actually was like nervous about it because I'm like, are they gonna? And they still played, and they
they
like
killed.
played like people were into it. On yours, I don't know because I think it skews away from it. I think the
Exactly.
younger, heavier crowd not as into Guns Up
Could
as
I-
you might imagine they would be.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Could I convince? Could I sell? Because okay, let's just be honest. Let's keep
Yeah.
it. Let's keep it.
Let's
a
keep it
buck, as they
100.
say. There's going to. I've seen some of the fest lineups for this summer. There is a lot of massaging of legacies to make headliners. Is that fair? Or direct support?
Yep,
There is a lot of
I think so.
there's a lot of promoters, festa organizers telling you a thing was a big deal and hoping that you believe that it was a
Hoping
big
you
deal.
don't ask or look at it too closely.
Right,
to
because it
make
could
that.
be, and
Oh, yeah.
honestly, we've talked about it. That's worked for Disembodied and Martyr AD to a large extent. So like, and furthermore, more power to you. You know what I mean? If you can fucking pull that wool. good
Oh
for
yeah,
you.
oh yeah.
But could I convince for my fest?
For
which
your audience.
I'm thinking of the detained kids. You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean the ones playing my fest?
Yeah, unfortunately, you snaked.
But think about it.
They're available for trade.
Martyr AD in California,
Mhm.
not to,
Yeah.
tell tales out of school, played a weekend out there at their show was scheduled to be at a giant venue.
And got dropped
Yes.
to the
That
small venue.
Drop to a small.
Went from like an
venue.
1100 cap to like a 250 cap.
Well, they were damn fools for putting an 1100 cap.
They weren't headlining.
Okay, all right.
No.
They were
Right.
part of another hype
Yes.
band that also don't draw nearly as well as
People
you
might
would
want
think.
them to think. Yeah.
Can I sell? I don't need to sell actual.
You want so the band
Sell
you're
it to the
trying to
kids?
sell Martyr AD?
No.
No.
Can I sell Cold as Life as the thing that matters?
Nope.
No.
Fuck. Really?
Sorry.
I mean,
think they're-
although I feel
think-
like they're canon for your crowd.
That's what I'm saying. But okay.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna give you what's the Cold as Life LP? What's the album?
Born to Land
yeah,
Hard.
Born to Land Hard.
Born to Land Hard set. There you go. If you want it, it's a Born to Land Hard set special, only Cali appearance of the year.
I might take it.
Think about it.
I-
You've only got one
45.
pick
I've only
because
got
you
one
have
pick.
40. You have 50 points or whatever. You can go high. You might want to look and see. There might be something else. But for your fest, that looks pretty good.
What about
I,
Mortar
Or
Pride in
Integrity. Did one
I
of you
want to
take
say no.
Integrity?
Integrity's available. Also, 100 Demons.
I thought about it. It's
For
but-
your fest?
So, but here's the
Ooh.
thing.
They're the kings of that.
They are, but hold on. Let's just fucking call a spade a spade. Would I have to massage for the average 22-year-old? Cold as Life, I would have to massage.
Have to
100%.
massage. Yep.
Do I have to massage Integrity?
No.
I could just straight up.
You
put
can just throw them
Integrity
on because that Relapse record has brought some heat, and they got legacy that other people are chattering about. You get some nice press on that.
You
I
know
think
what?
Integrity's there.
Then I'm.
How did neither of you pick Agents of Man?
Fuck.
I was going
Come
to
on.
actually.
I know. All right. Anyways, go ahead.
It
You're
was-
taking.
I thought about Scarhead.
I
for
fuck
one
with
second.
Agents of Man.
I know you do.
I
They're
thought
legit.
about
band.
I
I know.
thought about Scarhead.
All right. You're gonna.
I'm going Integrity.
All right.
I think
Integrity.
it's just a look. I don't know if it'll pan out. I don't know if it'll be worth it.
With those
It's for the
points,
look.
I think it's a nice value, and you add a headline-ish level band
Ish,
to
yeah.
your
You know who we
fest. Okay.
missed in terms of this? Then I'm looking at it. That would probably fit with your fest because they kind of encapsulate everything. In California, Terror.
I
Terror's
debated
on
Terror-
here.
Terror,
No, I know, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like for 40
They didn't
points,
get picked. I know they're a
Okay,
good
Terror
value.
for 40 is a good value.
bigger than Integrity.
And people for sure, but I don't know. So Terror is a weird thing where people continue to go out for Terror, 100%. Like I
Mhm.
don't know what their numbers are, whatever, but people continue to enjoy
Oh,
Terror,
absolutely.
go out for Terror. But they have been a career band in the same way. Madball's a great example.
Sure.
Madball, people
Mhm.
still come out for Madball,
Oh yeah.
but I don't know if either band can necessarily know ahead of time which tour is going to be hot and which isn't, because there are ups and downs. There's like
When they know it's going to be hot, they might know, but there's going to be little blips and blobs that they can't predict.
That's what I'm saying. Some years it's just not as hot for those acts, and like
Right.
part of that is because they're consistently touring for 20 years.
And what we think like would be like, dude, if you did Lowest of the Low full record,
Yeah.
that might not go over with your people where
That's
Keepers
right.
of the Faith would.
Right.
Right,
the
or
metal
just-
record. What's
yeah.
the metal
Right.
record?
The few, the
There's a bunch.
Honestly,
There
that
are a
could,
lot of records.
One of those could fucking pop for my crowd.
But it will it because of the audience, and you know what you said is right. The other side is to consider if this was actually like you were just trying to fill one slot and you had some budget, you had some capacity, you'd have these similar thoughts like, and you'd also be looking at your lineups and going, where should I slot this? And I think you're being really thoughtful for it. So Integrity, nice
Integrity
pick.
is.
All
Okay.
right. Real quick, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for joining us. This was really fun.
thank you for indulging
Was this
us.
fun, Tom?
This is fun.
All
this
right.
is more. You know what? I give all the people that book these shows and these fests all the credit in the world because this was difficult.
So let's do one thing. If each of us can point out one thing, is there any I can't believe you missed from any of this room? For me, I'm gonna throw this out there.
Like that one of us missed.
That like one of us, like how did you not pick? Like Bob, how did you not pick X? Like
I mean, I'm shocked you didn't pick Four Punch. If I'm being
it was value, and also this is a shout out to them. I know they're not really trying to play that many more shows. Like they
yeah,
feel
but
good
that's like
about
insider information.
it. Yeah, but whatever. I'm going with that. And honestly, like
I'm kind of
for
surprised.
California, they had great value when they went out to Sound and Fury in 2009. It was fucking awesome. It was the first time they had played there. I don't think they've gone back.
They've
so
never
it's,
been to California.
no, they'd
but
been to
that one
California
time.
back then. They went in
the
98.
90s. Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
But they only went that one time,
Right.
and that was great. And it's actually would be nice. So if somebody's got the bucks, book them, book all the families a little trip, get that Disney, get some bulk
Yeah,
wholesale
someone must
rates.
know
You know,
somebody with
get that
passes
worked
that-
out
yeah.
and book them out there. But just for mine, it was basically saying I want it to be as fun as possible, and they actually would be pretty fun. It's all right.
You know-
It's all right. It's all right.
You know who else is not on here? Which we may have missed unless
Who's up?
Blacklisted.
I don't think they've played a fest since
They played
2015.
They played Rainfest with us 2 years ago.
Oh,
I
we
didn't do
count
Rainfest.
Rainfest.
Yeah, we didn't
count
do
Rainfest.
Rainfest because it was too, dude. I
That's
did
a
like
lot.
7 fests. It was
I would have
700
skipped
bands.
fucking, you know,
Not Dead Yet.
yeah, one of those like.
I wanted to have some diversity. I think Not Dead Yet and Damaged City brought diversity to
For
it.
sure.
And it was just, it honestly,
Could-
it was just like relevant. Like now, I was like, oh yeah, these fests are still
Yeah,
happening.
in
you
my
know?
mind.
Sure.
'Cause wait, you did do UB or didn't do UB?
I did UB.
Okay,
I did
okay.
So just again, this is Hardcore Sound and Fury, UB, FYA, Black and Blue, Damaged City, Not Dead Yet.
And if you do a fest that's not represented by what he just said,
Yeah,
it's no slight.
Yeah, no apologies. Midwest Blood, LDB. I actually thought of you guys as I was finishing cleaning the list of 700 bands and was like, oh no, I can't do that again. So
Maybe we'll do this a second time.
we'll do some other game. But this is fun.
Who do you
I'm
think we
actually,
missed?
I was shocked that Earth Crisis stayed on the board for so long.
Well, we knew you wouldn't pick it.
I was very close to picking it.
I don't think my crowd likes it.
They're on a fucking upswing.
They are,
I
but
think
I don't
they
think
are.
my crowd likes it.
Yeah, I there's a couple value picks in there that I'm surprised didn't go, but I'm surprised after all the Ramallah talk that Pat didn't go for it.
Thought about it.
Yeah, just for the story, to get some performance art.
Like, would they do that song? Would
Oh,
they
yeah,
bring out a
100.
woman?
Oh, that's
I bet-
that's on Pat's requirements.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
happening.
they
Yeah.
gotta
Bring.
play it.
You'd have to provide the woman
Play
to
it
work
or
with them.
play it or don't get paid. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the voice actress, yes.
Yes.
Leeway, I don't think are worth anything in 2018. But do you remember when they were?
Of course.
It was
But also, I heard Leeway stole. They didn't steal the show, but put on a real banger show at that Madball show in Philly. Just happened.
really.
Yeah, and what
Dude's
was,
got a band.
That dude's got a band, and a friend and I were discussing it. It all laid out because they played the Shore, and it was awesome. And it was only like 120-ish, 150 paid at a small venue though, like at a VFW
so it
hall. It was
felt
awesome. Felt great, and they sounded great. Leeway didn't have to headline, and it wasn't the Eddie Leeway show. It was Leeway. It was under Madball, so they went in, played a 25, 30-minute set, and just
All the
smashed
hits.
it.
Yeah, the songs.
And
right here.
Perfect cross
Because-
section of their fan too.
Ding, ding, ding. The older dude isn't maybe necessarily driving from Philly to the Shore to go see Leeway headline with bands he's never heard, but Madball's playing. Oh, who else is playing?
Wisdom and Chains. It's
Wisdom
like
and Cha-
yeah.
Who else is playing? Leeway. Oh shit, I gotta be
Yeah,
there. So it was like a
that's a
perfect
lot of
mix, and it
energy.
was like
Yep.
young bands and the openers on that show. It was a very well put together show, apparently. So
Well curated.
shout out. Any other
New
stuff that
venue
was
that it was at? I feel like.
last minute venue change? The Foundry,
Foundry or
which is a
something?
part of the Fillmore, which is
This
the
new big joint.
Live Nation
Got
spot
it.
in Philly.
Okay, so for, we all had California Fest and Strife not getting picked.
Strife not picked.
Is the thing.
Only 1/3 of the California Takeover got picked.
What's interesting is not to fucking spread any hate, but there was no love for that shit that was white hot a couple years ago. I'm talking Rival Mob, Boston Strangler, and like it's interesting that none of our brains went there as a viable option.
I just thought Rival Mob was the value was too high.
Yeah, they were expensive pick because they played their last show. They played their last show
Oh,
at
they did,
FYA.
okay.
They're-
Okay.
I mean, they were
Really?
basically broken up. They haven't
Really?
really played. I think if you wanted to book them in Europe for a lot of money, maybe you could get them. But yeah, they've been broken up for a minute.
Yeah,
But
I feel
quietly,
like for that level of money.
it was
It
tough.
wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
Boston Strangler I actually considered, but I don't think they've resonated in the same way. Even a band like Career Suicide, who I will admit is a bit of a glamour pick for me. Boston Strangler doesn't bring the same value at the same price. I thought Dangers should have gone. I was actually surprised Pat didn't pick them. For that value, for 30 points.
Listen, here's what's crazy.
Oh, it's your fast. It doesn't fit your
It
value.
doesn't fit my fest. They would be the smart, converge-ish act on my fest.
I wouldn't compare them to Converge, but I would have said they would have probably relished being on your fest because they would have been tickling and weirding out the typical audience in a way that probably would have been endearing. And I sort of picked weird because I think you would have loved that.
So I've told the story probably 30 times on this podcast. Watching them play immediately before Crime Watch was a revelation for me and a realization that I'm old because straight up it made no sense. Like Crime Watch was a disaster musically and Dangers was fucking so on point. And it just honestly didn't matter. People were there for what they were there for. They wanted to see Crime Watch. They didn't want to see Dangers. And it made me realize, okay, so this is what, and I say we use kids really liberally in this room.
Yes, we do.
To
We're
apply
all
to
kids.
to apply to 50-year-olds. But like when I say kids, this is what fucking 20-year-olds want is Crime Watch, not Dangers. My fest is for the 27 to 17 crowd.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like I think Dangers is better than 80% of what's on my fest. You know what I mean? But not for my fest.
That's what I see that. I actually came very close to picking Dangers. I think I chose Self-Defense over it because I actually like Self-Defense a lot. And Dangers I don't really like, but I think they would have been a really good fit. I tried to go really young for my fest too. I'm shooting for 20-year-olds.
Right. I think one that I would have got Wisdom and Chains could have made sense for my fest.
They don't. It's not the same in
I know,
California, but they certainly would have fit your fest. They probably would have done better than I'm
Zayo.
saying.
Zayo almost made my list, but here's the thing. Whereas All Else Failed is something that I think I could sell to kids,
Yeah, you're selling that one.
there's something off, like there's something aged about Zayo that I think is unappealing. Now, to me, that's canon metalcore. That is
Yeah.
like really top tier metalcore. But I think time-wise, it falls into a lane that is just totally overlooked by a fucking 20-year-old in 2018.
Suicide File didn't get picked. 35.
That was on my list.
Yeah, I feel like they actually
Also-
for that pretty high level, but you know,
I think time thing. I think
Yeah.
that falls into the memory hole for a
right
lot
now
of kids.
there's a weird
right
little
now,
memory
right
hole.
now.
Right now, but
Like-
even 3 years ago, maybe different.
Could
3
have
years
been
from
hot.
now,
Yeah,
could be
3
really
years
different.
from right. But like interesting because Suicide File. I don't know if you're 19 and hearing the sound of my voice, Suicide File was fucking buzzy and big and a thing.
and crossed over all the scenes, played with whoever and did well, kind of.
Wonderful and smart band.
Yeah, Twitching Tongues did not get picked.
Yeah, that's kind of a
They would have fit on your fest.
they might fit on my fest.
They might.
They might.
I ran out of money. They were on my list too.
I thought about them. Okay.
All right.
I should have picked Advent, but like they don't play enough. Whatever. Okay.
A lot of
Anyway,
bands.
Everybody, thank you for joining us again.
you.
Hope you had
again,
fun.
This is a real. This is an exercise in how
Futility.
nerdy. No, futility for sure. This was us playing D&D for a night. Don't feel slighted. Feel talked about.
HCD&D.
HCD&D.
Dungeons and douchebags.
We'll speak to you soon. All of this will be posted up, and we're going to have you vote on our individual fests And then some dickhead will undoubtedly take those lineups, post them somewhere as though they're actual fests, and it'll be a thing for a week.
Yeah, if we need to watermark that shit, things are getting too serious.
I think we should do that and be like, yo, man, did you see this festival? It's happening in Joshua Tree
Joshua Tree. All right.
at Poppy and Harriet.
It's happening.
You can also see our heavy lean. We love Southern California.
It's at
so
Red Rocks.
We love LA.
All right, everybody.
Thank you.
Be good. Axe to grind.